Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. It's a big one tonight. It's Manchester United against Wolves in a game that really isn't against the bottom three because they're not in the bottom three. We're playing Wolves. It's a huge, huge game, and we're very excited about it. And none more so than the fact that we're sponsored by Manscaped, by the way. We'll be talking about Manscaped in a little bit. 20% off plus free worldwide shipping. But United need to show some balls tonight. See what I did there with Manscaped. And the exciting thing is that... Well, it is exciting, although it's probably not the circumstances I would like. Harry Maguire is apparently not starting this game due to injury. Now, there is lots of speculation about what might happen. Will Phil Jones start? It's funny, I was on Twitter today and I said Harry Maguire is definitely not starting. And somebody replied and went, well, now you're going to get what you want, aren't you? You're going to miss him. And I went, well, I don't know. I wanted Harry Maguire to get dropped. I did not say I want Harry Maguire to get dropped for Phil Jones. For me, that's like having a bucket with a hole in it and replacing it with a sieve. Like I wouldn't do that. I would like to see Harry Maguire dropped for Lindelof or Bailly. I never said I'd want to see Harry Maguire drop for Phil Jones. So if Phil Jones does play tonight, we might all be begging Harry Maguire come to start for the next game. But there is a talk of Eric Bailly being available. This African Cup of Nations, they seem to. It's only Africa. It's not Mars. How long are the flights going to take? Because I thought I thought Eric Bailly was flying away last week, and I saw Mane and Mendy flying yesterday. So I thought Eric Bailly had already gone, but apparently Eric Bailly could be involved today. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you right now. I'd rather Harry Maguire play than Phil Jones. I'd rather Harry Maguire play injured than Phil Jones. But a lot of you are very excited about it. Lewis says the return of the GOAT. The thing about Phil Jones is, and I've always said it, he's our comedian. He is ours and we're very protective of him, but I don't think he's very good and we need to win this game today. And I don't need another meme of Phil Jones to lose 3 points against Wolves. So hopefully he's not going to play, but a lot of you seem to want him to play. That's up to you. I have been told that Bruno starts. Now, whether that's right or not, it's a new source, so let's see. They've not given me the rest of the team, so can't tell you anything about that. I do think Deleu will play at right back. I don't know that for definite, but I have been told that Bruno is starting. Obviously, if Harry Maguire's not starting, then Bruno could well be the captain. I love Bruno. Wouldn't make him captain today. For me, it's De Gea or Ronaldo for captaincy, but we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. I get why people want Phil Jones to start. There is that comedy element to it, of course, and I 100% understand what that's all about. But Harry Maguire, as of this minute, should not be playing in this game today. Not because he's crap or anything like that. He shouldn't be playing because he's actually, lots of people have said he's not going to play. So let's wait and see what happens with Manchester United. There isn't actually a lot of leaked news tonight. So I always prefer it when there isn't any leaked news. I like it when it hits at 4:30 and we don't know. But Bruno is what I've told he's going to start. It's a kick up the butt for Maguire, says Rob. Well, there's a bit of conspiracy. Jay, who was on the show last night, one of the United Stand regulars, he'll probably be on the forum later. He seems to think, say it what it is, he's been dropped. I think if he's dropped, he's dropped. We dropped Rashford. I actually think he probably is injured, but he must be quite badly injured because, to be fair to Harry Maguire, he doesn't normally miss games. But fair play, Harry Maguire is out of this game. Now, I just want to do this. We will be mentioning them throughout the show, and it's a very good team up with Manscaped tonight because we do need to show some balls. Wolves are a team that's going to be far better organised, equipped than Burnley, Newcastle and Norwich. So if we win tonight, I want to see that progression. But tonight's show is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped is the leader in men's below-the-waist grooming, and they now help more than 4 million men worldwide looking on point in the areas where it matters. So you still have a jungle in your pants after festive period. Have a good listen to why you should get yourself the Lawnmower 4.0. A new multifunctional switch on and off switch for those people who like to travel. The ability to turn the LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precision shave. Also adjustable trim lengths if you want to go, however short you want to go. And it's got a sleek two-toned matte finish and even featuring a hot foil stamped black chrome Manscaped logo. Very fancy. And of course, its wireless charging system uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery life last longer. Very, very fancy. And alongside the new Lawnmower 4.0, you also have their brand new performance package, which includes the Lawnmower 4.0, the Weed Whacker, the Crop Preserver, the Crop Reviver, very comfy box shorts, and a travel bag. And I used that travel bag a lot over Christmas because I did a lot of traveling. And the Weed Whacker, as you know, for those of a certain age, I haven't done it for a couple of weeks. So Actually, you'll probably be able to see it all coming out. Not going to do that live. But because Manscaped care about everyone that watches the United Stand, they're giving a huge 20% off plus free shipping when you click the link in the description. So what are you waiting for? Head over to the link in the video description and get this fantastic offer from Manscaped. New year, new balls, please. We're not at Wimbledon. I'm talking about Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products. Give it a try. 20% off through the link in the video description. You don't get a free chicken, Rob. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we're not talking about chicken. Right, so we are literally 8 minutes away from kickoff. Phil Jones has been spotted around Old Trafford. They've not arrested him. He's not been sectioned or anything like that. He might be starting tonight. But I don't understand the Eric Bailly rumours. Apparently, Eric Bailly may well be available for this game. I tell you what, it's a shame he's off to the AFCON because I actually am, and I've really been thinking about this, and I've mentioned it on the last two shows. I think the big problem United have got in playing the Rangnick way is the fact that Harry Maguire wants to play on the edge of his box, surrounded by safety. He wants Luke Shaw to tuck in. He wants Maguire. He wants McTominay and Fred to stay close. Under the Rangnick system, he wants two centre-backs who defend on their own. And Bailly and Varane, I think, can do that. And if we have two centre-backs that can play on the halfway line on their own, the rest of the team can press high. So I actually hope Bailly does play today because I'd be very excited to see Varane and Bailly play together. But of course, we know Bailly will be gone for a month. But so Harry Maguire is probably going to walk straight back into the team regardless, isn't he? But he's not playing tonight. And apparently, Phil Jones is playing. I've just had a leaked team. De Gea and Bruno is not starting. Apparently, Bruno's on the bench. So I've been thrown an absolute stinker there. Phil Jones is back. This is from Paddy Keogh, and he's saying that De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Jones, Shaw, Matic, McTominay, Sancho, Greenwood, Ronaldo, Cavani. Now, if that is the correct team, I'm very worried about this team. I'm very worried about it. And I'm not going to lie, very worried about that United 11 I've just seen. And I'm live. I'm writing out my tweet because I find I tweet better when I'm talking. So yes, if that is the true team, I'm absolutely terrified. I'm terrified. And I'm not going to lie because I don't lie. I give it as it is. And Rangnick seems to have an obsession with not changing a winning team, which I don't agree with. For me, Bruno should have started in this game. And I'm worried. I'm worried about that. I don't think that I don't trust Greenwood and Sancho to put the work rate in. I don't trust Matic and McTominay against what Wolves have got. And I'm worried about the midfield battle. But in Ralph we trust, says Christian. Remember, your super chats will go up on the screen now, like Rob Quint's there. But Mark's not happy because his boy Bruno is not playing. Not at all, Abdi. I hate it when people put words into my mind because I do not care. And Maguire looked badly hurt at the end of the Burnley game. Just remember that, says Martial FC. I didn't notice that at all. I don't really care whether Bruno starts. I mean, to be honest with you, if I really wanted to have a tantrum, why is Delo not playing at right back? That's rotate. I don't like Rangnick's system, to be honest with you then. If he's going to say, I'm not going to change a winning team, well, he changed the team, the fullbacks, to rotate, and then they win, so they stay. How is that fair on Delo and Telles, who did really well in the Newcastle and Norwich game, one of the few? So I don't agree with that. Bruno coming back into the team when a team's won, I can understand that. He's suspended, but it just feels... I don't like the whole don't change a winning team. I agree with Matty, I'd have brought Delo back. I do back the manager, Tom. If you're going to put words in my mouth, you're going to get blocked. Like, I'm not having this. I will not be accused of agendas. I will not be accused of turning on the manager when I haven't. And I really couldn't give two shits whether Bruno starts or not, because that's not my point. I'm worried about that 11 because I don't think we were that good against Burnley. And if Wolves are better than Burnley, we might have a difficult game on our hands. I don't trust Phil Jones either. I actually don't think Phil Jones is better than Harry Maguire. So I actually think we're weaker at the back today. Don't you think Eric Bailly can play as a CDM? Food for thought, says Joshua. It's not as if we've seen a world-beating 11 this season. Why are you crying? It's like you haven't seen Bruno play this season. Don't know what you're talking about, James. Not crying either. Hi, Mark. Have we ever seen the Bailly-Varane partnership before? And if Phil Jones is playing without the pink boots, I may boil my eyes out, says Akil. The last couple of years have been odd, but that's all topped the 3 days into this new year. The new year, the Prince is back, says Joshua Bowwater. So look, this leaked team is out. It is De Gea, it is Wan-Bissaka, it is Jones and Varane with Luke Shaw. No Delo, no Telles, Matic and McTominay, no Fred, and no Bruno. And then it's Maguire, Greenwood and Sancho, Ronaldo and Cavani. And this thing that we've heard before about Rangnick, that he doesn't like to change a winning team. Well, he isn't going to change a winning team, apart from the fact that we have an injury to Harry Maguire and Phil Jones is playing. So, yeah. That's what we're going to get. So Phil Jones starts. We have to speak to him about it. Would love to see Greenwood in a number 10 role, says Sue Radcliffe. And do you think Bailly and Varane are more likely to pick up muscle injuries playing with Maguire because the side rely on their recovery pace more, says Matt Hayes. I think that what we're going to have to do in this game today is we're going to have to play more narrow. And if Greenwood and Sancho play wide and we play Matic and McTominay, I worry. Although one of the big positives is that we should see McTominay playing as a more advanced 11. More advanced midfielder like we did against Burnley. So hopefully he will break forward again and get some shots off, because that was a real asset of United that I don't think many teams will have been really aware of. Captain, I don't know who the captain is, but looking at that team, it's going to have to be De Gea or Ronaldo, because there is absolutely no way that he's going to. It's not going to be Bruno if Bruno's not starting, is it? So it's going to have to be David De Gea or Ronaldo. I hope it's Ronaldo. I really hope it's Ronaldo, because the thing is, De Gea, it's easier to give it back to him. But we're just waiting on the official lineup from Manchester United, because we are not quite at 4:30 yet. But as I said, for those wanting to know, Rangnick's shown a bit of balls. Rangnick must be sponsored by Manscaped like us. 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Link in the video description. Trim your grass to make your yard look bigger. And Rangnick must be sponsored by Manscaped, because he's shown some balls tonight. I can't wait to see what his bench is, because if there is a centre-back on the bench and he's picked Phil Jones, bloody hell. I mean, give Ollie a bit of credit. He never picked Phil Jones. So, you know, are we regressing under Rangnick? I'm joking. I back Rangnick 100%. I think he's a fantastic coach. But picking Phil Jones is, well, you know, careers can be ended tonight. I hope that won't be the case. And look, Phil Jones has played the odd good game for Manchester United in the past. So we need him to have the odd good game tonight. We really do. But let's lineup is now out for Manchester United. And it is Wan-Bissaka, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Jones, Varane, Shaw, Matic, McTominay, Greenwood, Sancho, Cavani, and Ronaldo. Phil Jones. Phil bloody Jones is starting. I cannot believe it. We never thought we'd see it again. We never thought we'd see Goldbridge doing a watch-along, watching Phil Jones in a Manchester United shirt again, and we're going to see it. Tonight, 2022, just flipped a coin. It's gone absolutely mental, and it's only 3 days in. Phil Jones is starting for Manchester United in a must-win game. And the hilarious thing is, there is no centre-back on the bench. So it's not like he had a choice. There's no Bailly. There's no Lindelof. The bench is Henderson, Telles, Delo, Bruno, Fred, Lingard, Van der Beek, Elanga, and Rashford. So there is no centre-back on the bench. So realistically, his choice was, as a specialist centre-back, if you can call him that, Phil Jones. So Phil Jones starts this game tonight. And I would say, I might be in the minority here, but if you had a choice between Harry Maguire and Phil Jones, and you're picking Phil Jones, I'm stunned. I would not pick Phil Jones. He invents his own offside traps. I don't think he's played in about 10 years, and he's just I'm intrigued, but and I really hope he plays well. I really do, because we need to win tonight. Tonight's not the night where we need to be going bloody pink boots. What a prat! Everybody's. I don't want to see a bad performance from McTominay. I don't want to see a bad performance from Phil Jones, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Nemanja Matic. You know, whoever. I don't want to see a bad performance from anybody. I want to see a Manchester United win, but I am concerned about that starting lineup. And, you know, we'll get people in the chat going, "I'll stop being negative." My job is to actually be honest, and I'm worried about that team. I hope we win, but I'm worried about that team. I don't think it played that well against Burnley, and now it's got Phil Jones in it. Zed Jamie says, weird team, Maguire injured, Phil Jones back and rightly Bruno on the bench. When players play bad, they must be dropped. A bit worried as Wolves are another level compared to our previous games. Hopefully he can get the year started with a win. I mean, look, I would have, I'll be honest with you, I would have played Bruno. But I know from yesterday, I was in the minority with that. And you know, the manager must be allowed to manage. And I agree that Ollie would not have dropped Bruno. He would not have dropped Rashford. So at least we've got a manager willing to make big decisions. Mark, maybe our Ralph wants to see Jones play rather than old videos of how bad he was, says Andy and Bruno. I'm predicting Jones will have a banger with Varane. Varane will feel like he's back with Ramos, says Sharath Fitness. I'd rather Phil Jones than Maguire, says Fred. I don't know how many of you feel like that, but I think some of you do. Jones is clear of Maguire, says Foot. The Prince has returned, says Dan. And Sean Turner says, Ralph has realised how crucial Matic is for this team now. I think we're really going to struggle today. Should have kept Twansebi for tonight, says Sean Turner. I'm so happy Maguire got dropped. I don't even care if it's for the GOAT, Phil Jones. Well, he's not been dropped. He's injured, Architect, who is a member. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button. Thank you very much. And if you want to do your super chats, we do put them up on the screen. Captain Ronaldo. Captain Ronaldo. Sorry, I did not announce that. This could be the beginning of something. I think if De Gea got the captaincy, then it might be different. But Captain Ronaldo, never take it away, is what I would say. Never take it off him. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love Ronaldo as the captain today. Surely Varane and Jones will absolutely not have no chemistry, says Mike. No wonder Varane was rested against Wolves. Has to do a double shift tonight, says Alfie. Phil Jones is clearly better than Harry Maguire, says Melps. And Ralph might have forgotten to watch videos of playing Phil Jones from last 10 years because there is none. And Paul van der Beek again, says United Voice. Can Twansebi not play since his Villa loan was cancelled? Should keep him as we now have to rely on Calamity Jones, says Rossi. I love Bruno, but making the call to leave him out shows he can take anyone out, which is refreshing from the past. Yeah, I get that, Daniel. I do get that. I think there's an interesting point been made there about Donny van der Beek, though. I don't see Donny getting on tonight when, if you look at the bench, Bruno will obviously be coming on before him. Bruno's definitely been dropped. You know, he was suspended for the game against Burnley, and he's dropped him tonight. So Ranić obviously doing what he thinks is right. Ronaldo power in the squad coming through, you think, Mark, says LJ Snooker? I hope so. I hope we see a different United, because we've got, I think tonight, realistically, I'm going to write it down as my first point as well for after the match. Does the captaincy matter? You know, I think United under Maguire have been very timid, and will we see a different United with Ronaldo as captain? We might not, and therefore captaincy doesn't matter. Phil Jones was goated by Sir Alex himself. Didn't you remember, Mark, says Jack Adams. I hope Jones has a worldie. We really need it to imagine if he does and puts Maguire out of the team, says Man United Hodge. Unfortunately, Phil Jones is not the player to put Harry Maguire out of the team, because even if he plays like prime Baresi, he'll be injured in no time. More out of hope, but could this be a plot to switch the armband but masking the real issue by Ralph, says Dan Watson. And just hope Bruno being dropped means that when Maguire returns, same treatment gets shown to him and others, says Jesus. And what's the Wolves lineup, says Red Devil TV. Very good point, Red Devils TV. I will give it to you right now. It's on screen right now, so I can read it on screen right now, although it will take a few seconds to come up for me. 1, 2, 3. So, I don't know who Sarr is in goal. I thought they had Alisson's, but it's Jose Sarr, Semedo, Kilman, Cody, Says, Markel, midfield 3 of Neves, Moutinho, and then they've got Trincao, Jimenez, and Podence. Adama Traore on the bench. Now, I rate Podence. I think he's an interesting player. I think Raul Jimenez, What do you think of Trincao? I thought he played. I'm sure he played against us in the game at Wolves, and I thought he was quite good against us. I remember him putting Fred on his arse. But Neves and Moutinho, not particularly big. Neves and Moutinho against Matic and McTominay. I think that's where this game gets won and lost. I'd be interesting to see. But look, we've got Levin coming on in a little bit. I just want to get some of your points, whether you want to do it through a super chat and get put up on the screen, or you just want to put it in the chat. I do want to know what your thoughts are on this team and what your thoughts are about a team that played against Burnley in a very specific way, which was basically a 4-2-4 with 2 wide players and 2 forwards. We know Wolves will pack the midfield. Do you agree with the not changing the winning team, or do you actually think you've got to look at different opponents and go, look, we need to pack that midfield, no matter how well you think we played against Burnley? Also, should Dalot be dropped for Wan-Bissaka? Did Wan-Bissaka do enough on Thursday night, or has Dalot been better? Would you have brought Bruno back in? Are you happy with that team? Would you have played Luke Shaw at left centre back and played Telles at left back instead of Jones? Finally, we'll get to see the best defender in the world. He won't wear pink boots, Joseph. If he wears pink boots, I'll laugh my head off. He won't dare do that. He didn't wear pink boots ever again after that night. Phil Jones is only playing because we need updated meme pictures, says the genius knows. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Phil Jones will be better than Maguire, says Brentford. Who do you think's quicker, Phil Jones or Harry Maguire? Mark, I've been extremely sick at home after catching, and the streams have been getting me through it, says Football Knowledge. Thank you very much. Trincao is a baller, Podont's another baller, and Neves and Moutinho have major control in the midfield. We'll have a hard time, but with Scott playing slightly more attacking, I smell a draw, says Red Devil TV. I actually haven't said this before, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but 2022 already is on a madness. I think Scott McTominay's key in this game. Can we get McTominay forward on the edge of the box? Because nobody ever seems to pick him up, and he's got a good shot on him. We was all on about Ollie, about the Donny treatment, and after Ralph comments about keeping him, I think that it's unfair. Let him go and play, says Sean Turner. Hi, Mark. Hope you're keeping well. Is it true that Phil Jones has started more games this season than Donny, says Bruno's? It could be true. And Yo Mama says with the super chat there. Thanks for all the super chats that are coming in. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We've got a lot of excitement in the chat tonight. We've got 33,000 people watching already. It's the return of Phil Jones. You're not dreaming. You're not in some weird fantasy world. You've not got a high temperature and you're hallucinating. Phil Jones is starting for Manchester United in a massive Premier League game against Wolves. Phil Jones is starting for Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo is captain for Manchester United. It's all going off. It's all going off. It's starting with a bang, says Mouldy Vegetable. I tell you what, though, I'm absolutely loving this. I mean, Phil Jones haters sit down, says Zedal. I'm absolutely loving the love that Phil Jones is getting in the chat. I'm absolutely loving it. And I've got no issue with it. I hope he has a really good game. And I'm loving the fact that people are enthusiastic. Personally, I think he's crap. And I hope he proves me wrong. I don't think it's about injuries. I don't think it's about memes. I don't think it's about pink boots. I think he's crap. But I hope I'm going to be wrong. I'm getting people telling me, they're always telling me, how dare you? But I do. I've always said this. I think he's crap. And that's why I'm worried. I do think he's crap. But I get it that, he's almost an enigma in a way, isn't he? He's like he's like Batman, Pratt Man, as I call him. But he's just like this. It's almost like he's like a myth of a footballer. So I get it. And I do have an affection for him, but I don't think he's very good. Let's have a look at some of your chats. Donny, that's why he's not playing, says Pisco. Hey, Mark, any score predictions given this lineup news? Hoping for the best on United. Sir Procure, I think it'll be 1-0 or 2-0 to United. I'm not going to change my scoreline, but I am worried. I was worried about the game anyway. I think a strong message is being sent to Bruno and Rashford. Bad form will not be rewarded. This will make them work harder to earn their place. I think that's a great point by Dan. We've not even mentioned Rashford not starting. Under the previous manager, Rashford would be playing, Bruno would be playing, and I agree with you. It's quite a refreshing change. Good to see Phil Jones back. One thing Maguire and Lindelof can learn from Jones is that he throws himself around. Ronaldo captain and Maguire out. It's needed, says Sean. Well, look, that's one of the big positives for me tonight, is that we should never give that captaincy up again. K-Flow, Jones hasn't kicked a ball in 3 years. Interesting times ahead. Very worried about that midfield and defence, says K-Flow. You and me both. I'm worried about the midfield battle. Mark, not sure. Pardon? What if Jones plays well? Mark, not sure why we're wasting time on the armband for Ronaldo. Phil Jones is right there. What is Ranić thinking? Says Matthew Pickles. Phil Jones, return of the Mac. This is Alligator. And Phil Jones never deserved the stick he got. I hope he puts on a masterclass. He did deserve the stick. Mate, can you not remember Sheffield United? In fact, Sheffield United, tell me the last time he started in a Premier League game. Because if it was Sheffield United, I'm pretty sure he got subbed off at half-time. We were playing offside. There was a line of defenders like that. A ball went over the top, and no one could figure out why they were onside because Phil Jones was playing an offside trap 20 metres behind it. You know, if Sheffield United was his last Premier League start, and I think it might have been, it was a bloody calamity. We all thought that Ralph's pair of midfield would be Fred and Van der Beek, but it's not. He clearly likes height. # free Van der Beek. Scott and Jones will cost us, says Edgar. Well, remember, McTominay's coming off a good performance. Let's hope he can repeat it. The previous manager would call him Phil Johnny, says Ali. Well, to be fair to Ollie, he never really picked Phil Jones. Phil Jones and Varane centre-back pairing, a pair Sir Alex Ferguson wanted, says VJ. SC to up Goat Jones and United, says Snake. And I think Donny would have took that spot instead of Phil Jones just so he could play. But good luck, Phil Jones. Sit us down, says Tom J. All I want to do tonight on the match reaction is to be. You're all going to bloody do it now anyway, aren't you? You'll still vote it. But all I really want to do is say Phil Jones man of the match and mean it, not as a joke. Mark, I honestly believe I could steal Maguire's lunch change and he wouldn't be able to catch me. And I look like DJ Khaled, highline incoming, says Akil. What happened to Maguire, says Hadrian. Well, a lot of people have been talking about Harry Maguire being injured. I'm not convinced. You know, they had the report at 9 o'clock at the Lowry Hotel last night. We know how slow Maguire is. Maybe he's just not arrived yet. But he's going to arrive too late anyway. Good form apparently isn't rewarded either, depending on who the player is. Delo and Tellez have both played well and been dropped. Interesting, says Nate. Well, I think that's the biggest conversation. You know, the fact that Bruno's not starting, whatever. But I really do think that Delo's unlucky. But I said this in the preview. The Delo Wan-Bissaka, if you go back to the preview I did on New Year's Day, I started with Wan-Bissaka in my predicted lineup. And I said, that doesn't mean Wan-Bissaka starts. I just think Ranić has got a choice. If he plays Delo, you're playing more attacking. If you play Wan-Bissaka, you're playing more defensive. Now, with Phil Jones in the defence, maybe he's thought I need a little bit more defensive cover and he's gone with Wan-Bissaka. Or maybe he's just said, I'm not changing a winning team, which I don't like. I don't like a manager who just says, well, we won, I'm not changing the team. Because I think, you know, at this level, you've got to be looking to tactically change as well. Would you sign Zakaria and Kamara for both 20 million? Also, thoughts on Jones if he plays well and doesn't get dropped next game? Well, if he plays well, he shouldn't get dropped next game. You cannot put Bruno and Rashford in the same category. Bruno is having a little rough patch. Rashford has been crap for years, says Sean Turner. Hi, Mark. What are your thoughts on Varane becoming permanent captain? Seems like he's not even been mentioned. Too early, Anthony. We gave them Maguire captaincy too early. I'd let Varane settle in before I even talk about that. Maybe in a year's time. Mark, don't you think Ralph is taking his time so that the team can adjust to his style of playing and Ronaldo for captain? Maguire needs to sort himself out, says Druv. Jones not played for 707 days. Come on, Phil Jones, world class, says Kyle. I don't understand life anymore, says Red Baron. Hi, Mark. I was actually surprised that Phil Jones is starting, but I hope we win the game. We've got to win the game, Anthony. I agree with Ricky last night. He said if we don't beat Wolves, it almost feels like it's pivotal to the top 4 challenge. Phil Jones, man of the match, genuinely happy he's been able to convince the new manager, but again, what is Donny doing in training not to get picked, says Faisal. I'm back. Biblical scenes today, says Phil Jones. The king is back. I'll tell you what, though, just going back to a point there about the long-term plan for Ralph Ranić and is he building something? I would actually, look, I'm never going to not tell you what I think. Jones' last game was Burnley at home and we lost 2-0, says the honest Tiger. Okay. I'm never going to say what I don't. I'm never not going to say what I think. Jones to Newcastle, here we go, says Jesse. I don't think that team on my left is a team that has got any longevity in it at all. I don't. Nemanja Matic can't keep playing 90 minutes. He just can't. Because he hasn't done that for nearly 18 months. So he can't play 90 minutes every game. So that's short-termism. Doesn't mean it's bad. Matic, I thought, really allowed McTominay to get forward against Burnley. And Cavani's not going to play every game anyway. So that team there is not a team if we're absolutely honest, we can go, he's finally building his vision out. I don't think there's a future in that team at all. I really don't. And I certainly don't think Phil Jones will be playing that long. Even if he plays brilliant, he'll get injured. So, there's 3 players there, Matic, Cavani and Phil Jones, that I just can't see them having any longevity, mainly because of injury and age. Presley, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Phil Jones could defend Earth from an alien invasion. Will Smith has nothing on Jones. But I'm loving the chat tonight. I'm loving the enthusiasm. I think there's a genuine excitement about this Phil Jones, and I hope it's going to work. We've all asked for no McFred and no Maguire. Ollie would have never. At this rate, Jones might not actually be as bad as Maguire. Give him a chance, says Aram. But Aram, whether we want to give him a chance or not, he's bloody playing. So, United made Ronaldo. Remember, Phil Jones wouldn't give his number 4 shirt up for Varane. Now they're playing together as well. How funny is that? Phil Jones wouldn't give the number 4 shirt up. And now he's playing with Varane. So it's the battle of them, who should be number 4. United made Ronaldo return memorable. You should go ahead after have a pink setting for Jones, says Kanishka. Phil Jones is rubbish and he'll make Maguire look like Diaz. Why have people forgot how poor he is, says Karamu. Look, I agree with you, but I hope we're wrong. So proud of Phil. Tears in my eyes, says Chris Smalling. Mark, I don't understand why Twansebi shouldn't come back and get his chance with Ranić. And that was from Tom Fletcher. Welcome to the Members Club, Barath. Thank you for joining. You can click the button. Club receptionist Jill Phones steps in his emergency centre back. Says upbeat, sarcastic. And I believe the pink boots will be there in spirit tonight, like Angel's Wings, leading Phil to victory. Come on, United, says Georgina Walker. You have to. Look, there's nothing more I would like tonight than Phil Jones put a masterclass defensive performance in. It's 0-0 in the last minute. He leaps for a header. He scores a goal. He pulls his shirt up and it says swivel on it, Goldbridge. That would be the ultimate redemption. The ultimate redemption. That one of my most favorite, not my favorite, my most iconic ever United stand moments. And if you witnessed that night, then you will remember it. It was getting played on Soccer AM, Sky, everything. The pink boots. It's the pink boots, Marcus, when he missed in the penalty shootout against Derby. Life is full of weird redemptions. Is Phil Jones going to redeem himself tonight and sit down and put to bed the ghost of the pink boots forever? Or is he going to be Phil Jones, licensed to kill United's hopes? The name's Jones. Phil Jones, licensed to kill United's defence. Let's see what happens. Jones would be just as good as Rudiger if he had a back 5 tax too. Rudiger is horrendous. Why are we bringing Rudiger into it, Eugene? I like Rudiger. And great content, Mark. Been watching since 2018. Future team. Do we need to create a winning team for it to be easier for long-term players to come into? Says RB. No Van der Beek. Phil Jones with pink boots, still daring to attend Watchalong, quoting Admiral Akbar. Hear it. It's a trap, says Kalkar. There we go. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 250,000, 250,000. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Obviously, we've already got 1 million subscribers, but we're now on that road to 2 million. So 250,000 is quite a big moment to hit. Please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. There's lots of you watching. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And get involved with the United Stand. We're live all the way through till full time. We've then got the match reaction where you can do your player ratings. You can be giving Phil Jones a player rating tonight. You never thought that would happen, did you? And people said 2022 is not exciting. It's only the 3rd of January. You can give Phil Jones a player rating. He's playing for Manchester United. It's giving me goosebumps. I don't know why. Even my body's confused. I'm getting goosebumps about Phil Jones. What is... Yeah. Well, the last time I had goosebumps, it was because gooses were attacking me outside bloody Centre Park. But I don't know what's going on. Even my body's confused. Phil, as long as it stays at goosebumps, I don't want any other involuntary body actions happening. Phil Jones, come on, let's go, says Portuguese Power. And we need a T-shirt with swivel on it, Goldbridge. Make it happen. Come on, United, says James Jones. Look, I'm. You know what? I've got to be honest. I sometimes just think, it's not worth stressing about life. Sometimes things happen and you just go, that doesn't make any sense. Let's ride the wave. And that's how I feel. I don't rate Phil Jones. I think he's crap. But I am affectionate towards him. I don't wish him any harm. I don't dislike the lad. I'd love him to do well, but I genuinely think, based on evidence, he's crap. But let's just ride it. Let's just see what happens. I'm as excited as everybody else. Welcome to the Members Club, Jashandeep Singh. It's just very exciting tonight. Phil Jones is starting for Manchester United. It's the same team that we played against Burnley, but Phil Jones plays for Harry Maguire. There's a pink boot just hit my screen. It's the pink boots. Paul McShane should have played. Even Aaron Wan-Bissaka at centre-back, says Josh Kirby. And Ronaldo as centre-back, as captain, makes Jones playing a bit less worse. Loving the hilarious Jones, love and hate. Come on, the Jones Meister, says. You know what? I'll say it again if you've missed it. Whatever you think about football, is this not why football is the beautiful game? Because we are playing a game tonight that we massively need to win. And yet we're having a bit of banter and fun about a defender that really could cost us top four. You know, I don't want to dramatize it, but if we lose tonight, we could be in a situation where top four becomes very, very difficult. So the comedy, the banter, the fun is great to see. I've just realised I've had Reading Derby on the telly, and it was 2-0 last time I checked. It's now 2-2. Derby have scored 2 late goals, if you're interested in that. Derby have just made it 2-2 against Reading, and we're in stoppage time there. And Stoke are losing. Maybe they need to buy Phil Jones. But no, there's no other Premier League game today. No, this is the only one. And you don't need another Premier League game on the day that Phil Jones is playing football. It's Phil Jones. Phil Jones is back. That's all 2022 on a mad one already. It's interesting. It really is interesting. But on a serious note, I think this game is going to be very difficult. I don't like the way United have. Well, it's very difficult to say how United are lining up. But if it's like it is on the screen with 2 wide players and only 2 midfielders, I just think they'll take over the midfield of the park. Why not get Axel back until the end of January? A lot of people have mentioned that, like Kareem. I don't know, is the honest answer. I really don't know. Hugo, welcome to the Members Club. SK says, Phil Jones, one of my hometown's best players, FA Cup winner. Respect on the Titan, Phil Jones. Shout out to Robert, who will get 1,200 if Jones scores first at 20-1, says Drew. Well, stranger things have happened. You remember he scored in the FA Cup? We beat somebody 5-0. I think Harry Maguire scored as well. They were absolutely shit. It was Tranmere, I think. Anyone remember the last time Phil played Wolves? He pulled the best of his faces to date, says My Big Melons. And Phil Jones for Ballon d'Or, says Parth. And hey, Mark, what's happened to Lindelof? Has he played since he came off suddenly? What's his injury? Big up United stand. He's not injured, Cohen. He's had COVID. I think he's back in training today. Watching Phil Jones walk out tonight is going to be like watching my firstborn walk out for Man United, just Charlie. Abanaf, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. And Phil Jones for United is like Zayn to the United Stand. We don't want him here, but we would miss him if he was gone. That's probably one of the best comments ever, Edgar. You've sort of nailed the brief there. Well done. Well done. And we do have, I mean, there was a previous chat just coming in there. I can't remember. Does this make you think less of Ranić, says Dylan? Phil Jones is the answer United need. Do I think less of Ranić? I don't. I judge managers on results, and we have no result yet. I don't think anything less of Ranić at all. I'm 100% behind Ranić, and I think he's a fantastic coach, and I'm very, very happy that we've got him. I don't agree with his lineup today. I'll be honest. I don't agree with his lineup, and there's absolutely no problem with that. Doesn't mean I'm Ranić out. I think some people just live in absolutes where you're either in or out. I'm 100% Ranić in. It's too early to start saying anything, and he will be with us till the end of the season. But I don't agree with his lineup today, and it's got nothing to do with Bruno. Actually, I think Dalot should be playing at right back, and I do think Phil Jones is a massive risk. I would have played. You could have put McTominay at centre-back and played Fred with Matic. You could have put Donny in there. You could have started Bruno if you wanted to. Bruno played well in the midfield too against Newcastle in the second half. I wouldn't have risked Phil Jones in this game. I know it's comedy, I know it's banter, and I know you're going to be booing me like a pantomime villain because you're all so excited. But if this goes tits up, I'll be right. I don't want it to go tits up. So I would have played Dalot. I wouldn't have played Phil Jones. And also, I wouldn't have played Greenwood and Sancho. I would have took one of them out, and I would have played... Look, if you want to drop Bruno, give Donny a chance. I'm a bit worried about the midfield getting overrun. I hope that Ranić has really studied Wolves because I'm worried about what Wolves are. And And I think that, I think it's going to be a difficult game. But Rangnick made a great point, and he'll have some more comments in a minute. But he made a great point this morning. I read it that a lot of people said, as I said, Burnley don't concede many goals, and we scored 3 goals. So Wolves don't concede many goals, but why can't we score 3 goals? For Rooney to be pulling the results with all the problems Derby have is quite amazing, says Dejan. I don't want Rooney at United, Dejan, if that's what you're hinting at. I'd play Scott in centre-back and Donny in centre-mid, Bruno in for Cavani, says Josh. Hi, Mark. Just wanted to say thank you for all your hard work. Sending much love from Armenia. Thank you, Edmund. All that love back. Return of Phil Jones. Let's make today a public holiday. What a day. It is a public holiday, Nizzle, funnily enough. Forever now known as Phil Jones Day. Mark, it's a win-win. We either get to see a game with Jones and win, or fresh set of Phil Jones memes for 2022. On a serious note, SK, this is not a game where we can just be living off Phil Jones' mistakes. We do need to win. I think if we don't win today, we're really jeopardising top 4. We've got to win. We have to win. Okay, well, we're going to put there's some quotes on from Rangnick there. Let me just read these chats. At least he's giving other players a chance, but I'm worried, says LJ. Clean slate for everyone under Rangnick, including Phil Jones. He's won more Premier League titles than Maguire and Gerrard combined, says Ricky Clarkson. Phil Jones is one of their players on the pitch who's won the Premier League. What a goat. De Gea and Ronaldo being the other two. Got 3 winners on the pitch now, Jono, you're right. Small part of me thinks Rangnick dropped Maguire and used injury to protect the decision, and Maguire could be start switching captain too. Hope so, Kevin. 10 out of 10 performance incoming from Mr. Jones, says Vervant. And do you know if there is any update on Alvarez? I have an update on Alvarez, Ian. It's not happening. It's 100%. And this is absolutely nailed on, gold standard source. Alvarez talks are 100% being done by the agent. Manchester United are not in for Alvarez. You can believe that if you want to. That is absolutely, this afternoon, gold standard source. Alvarez agent is pushing Manchester United's name. Manchester United are not involved. Let's have a look at these comments from Rangnick. Leaving Bruno out was a tough decision to make. He is one of our most important creative players, but we played well against Burnley, so stayed with the same formation we played against them. I don't agree with that. Not about Bruno. No problem with that. I don't agree with this team. Don't agree with this setup. And look, hopefully Rangnick will be right. On Phil Jones, he was extremely professional all the time, even when he wasn't in the squad. We knew since last night our other 2 centre-backs that played against Burnley were out. So for me, it was the logical choice. There is no other centre-back on the bench. There is no other centre-back on the bench. So, if he didn't pick Phil Jones and he put Luke Shaw at centre-back or McTominay at centre-back, people would be saying, well, he should have played Phil Jones. So I think he's stuck between a rock and a hard place with Phil Jones. And I think ultimately probably is right to pick him, but I wouldn't have done it. Rangnick on Ronaldo being the captain. He's the most experienced player. The choice was David De Gea or him, but I wanted to have a few players with the captaincy. Bruno bench, big call from Rangnick. Will there be the only person from Portugal starting 11 not playing, says JG. Never would have thought I'd see Phil Jones and Ronaldo in the same starting 11, says Ethan. And would have liked to see Scooby playing further up the pitch after seeing him against Burnley and had Donny playing as well, says Colin. I still think that, well, I think Rangnick's given the hint away, hasn't he? I don't think he's picking a different formation. He said himself we've gone with the same formation. So, can it work? Can that formation work? So, let's wait and see. But look, Ronaldo is the captain, Raziz. Please subscribe, by the way. It'd be great to hit 246,000 before kickoff. And there's so many of you watching. We are currently 300 subscribers away from 246,000. So click that bottom. Don't click that bottom. Click that button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. You're very welcome on the United Stand. Massive 2022. And it's only 3 days old, and Phil Jones is playing, and Ronaldo is captain. It's just something else, something completely. Very, very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Bruno bench, we've done. No, we've done that one as well. Would have liked to see. We've done that one as well. Jesus says Ronaldo has never lost a game he's captained in his career. That is a great point and very special day today, says Finley O'Connor. It is a very, very, very special day. I think we've got 11 coming on any minute. 2022 year, the year of miracles. Come on, Jonesy, says Xander Vicky. And welcome to Members Club, Yo Mama, which is his name. Can't do anything about that. New year, new Jones. How old is Phil Jones? Remember, you know what, though? Remember, today's stream is sponsored by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Manscaped, trim the yards, make the grass look bigger. I tell you what, Ranić, he's shown some balls tonight. He's shown some balls tonight. Phil Jones is 29. He'll be 30 next month. There you go. Right, have we got Levin on? Lewandowski's coming on. Just being positive. We play the way we play, no matter who it is against. Isn't it what big teams do? Says Pushan. I think you've taken something and turned it into a lie there. 4-2-4 is not going to work against decent teams, I'm afraid. But and as I said, I don't think there's any longevity in that team. Matic won't be able to play every week. Cavani won't be able to play every week. So I'm worried. I am worried about this lineup, but that's just being honest. Jones was back up after Sir Alex could not get Varane. Now both playing Sir Alex dream, says Anup. Levin, I can see you on my screen. How you doing?
Yo, what's up? What's up? It's good to be back. I was under the weather. I'm gonna underplay a bit. I was tiny bit under the weather, but I'm feeling better now. So it's good to be back.
He is. It's great to have Levin back because he was very ill over Christmas. And but look, whether you've been ill or not, Phil Jones on your screen, even in the height of your illness, probably would have raised something in your mind. What's going on? What's your thoughts on the team?
I'm with the chat here. It's good to see Sir Phil Jones back, the king. Premier League winning centre back. He's a champion. He's a winner. I'm happy to see him back. Look, we can't do anything about it. Realistically, we don't have any other centre back available. Really, I know some people are saying play Shaw there maybe and play Tellers on the left. I can understand Rangnick wanted to play Phil Jones. We know he wanted to play Phil Jones a couple of weeks ago in the Champions League, right? And he couldn't. So it makes sense. He's the only centre back available. Play him there. When it comes to the rest of the lineup, I get it. I don't really have too much complaints other than the fact I would have probably wanted to see the low in there instead of Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
I can understand why Wan-Bissaka would be in this team in terms of, dealing with Wolves in defensive transition. They are a great team in transition. They were under Nuno. They still are under Bruno. So, yeah, I get that. But other than that, I can sort of see why we've kept things mostly the same around the team.
I'll tell you what, 2022 is just getting weird. I've just got Sky on, and there's Incy. He's sat with bloody Jamie Redknapp. I thought, what's going on this year?
Really?
Everyone's getting promoted. Phil Jones is in the lineup. Paul Ince is on bloody Sky Sports. I tell you what, it's crazy. Well done, Incy. He's got a lot of good stuff to say, but he's on the show tomorrow morning, actually. But yeah, I do agree with you on that. And Ranić said that himself, Levin, that I've got no other centre back. There's no other centre back on the bench. So ultimately, it's a show of trust to put Phil Jones in. On a serious, I've been saying this. The way the chat's reacted is fantastic. I think there's a lot of goodwill behind him. But on a serious footballing level, he's not played in a very long time. Some people would question what he was like before. I'm worried. I want him to be man of the match. I want him to be man of the match, but I'm worried. I am very worried. I don't actually think he's very good. Some people think he's better than Maguire. I don't think he's anywhere near that level. I am genuinely worried about this tonight. What is your thoughts on the impact it will have? Will it? Does it make us weaker? What do you think? What you think about the game in general and how we're set up?
Well, look, it definitely makes us weaker. We have an inability really now to play out from the back well, I'd say, when you have Wan-Bissaka and Phil Jones in your back line, which is obviously going to be a problem. I think the biggest issue when it comes to defensive, of course, it makes you weaker, but when you look at the game against Burnley, we very much lacked, defensive compactness, right? We weren't able to really press much, understandably, when you have Matic in your team. The defensive line was too deep as well, which was a really big issue in terms of us trying to have any sort of settled press. So with Jones, I don't see much of that improving. What I do think needs to improve, if we have any chance against Wolves today, is we need to be much more compact. The 10s need to come in and actually help defensively. There were too many times in that game against Burnley where McTominay and Matic were left to do way too much. And the difference between Burnley and Wolves is Wolves are much better technically in the middle of the park, much better. And they will just play straight through us if we are not more compact today. I get the Matic thing, because ultimately with Matic playing with McTominay, you have much better control in possession, right? And you have much better ball circulation. You see that. But the problem is with Matic now at this stage in his career is defensively, he can't run. Like he can't press. There was a moment at the very start of the Burnley game where you saw him try to commit to a press and he does and he gets beaten. I think it was literally the first chance they had in the game. So like, yeah, that is obviously going to be like a big problem for us in terms of, you know, if we want to have any sort of significant press. But I think in reality, Rangnick is willing to bank on the fact that that won't be as important in this game. Like, a lot of people complain about the press against Burnley, right? But when you actually looked at it, us pressing or not wasn't the key difference in why we won the game or lost the game. And I think Rangnick probably sees this game being similar in the sense of whether we have an amazing press or not in this game isn't going to be the key difference. The key difference in this game is us having control in midfield, which is probably why he's stuck with Matic and McTominay. Because look, Fred's on the bench. He could have played Fred in this game, right? So if he wanted to have a better press, he would have just played Fred. So I don't think he sees that as being what he wants in this game. I think us being able to control the midfield battle is much more important. So.
No, I agree. I think, you know, Phil Jones in the team, no Fred, like you say, Matic and McTominay. Look, whatever you think about those players' traits, this is not, and I'd be very surprised. I just don't think the players selected are good enough to, well, not good enough. That's not fair. They're not the right sort of player to play like we did in that first half an hour against Palace, where you press them high up the pitch relentlessly. Matic hasn't got the legs to do that. McTominay's not really like that either. Cavani and Ronaldo, well, Cavani can do it. Greenwood and Sancho, they're more creative. I think it's going to... I noticed against Burnley, almost felt like, you know, Newcastle, we weren't very good. Norwich, we weren't very good. It was almost as if Rangnick went, right, I can't play the way I want to play with these players. What I need to do is get the best out of the players I've got. And he, you know, he mentioned before the game about the way the Burnley played and winning the second balls, and he put a very physical side out there. And it feels like he's almost going with that, not pragmatic, but grind out results today. You know, probably expecting it to be quite tight. Let's take our chances. But my concern about that is that, you know, there's a big difference between Burnley and Wolves. And Wolves, if they play their way, we'd have to make 3 or 4 substitutions just to react. So we've got to be compact, like you were saying.
Yeah, like we can't really play the way we played against Burnley. Wolves are obviously going to exploit that a lot better. But the reality is, when you look at all the games so far with Rangnick, he has made like adjustments in every game. And I think a lot of people are very fixated on that first half against Crystal Palace because it was so good, it was so thrilling, it was so entertaining. And I think there's an element of truth to the fact that he probably realizes, one, he can't play that way with these players consistently. He still needs to do a lot more work with them. And 2, there's certain elements of that won't work against bigger teams. And that's why, as much as this run now is fine, and as long as we're picking up results and staying in the top 4 race, I'm cool. I really want to see what happens against a better team and what approach he takes, because we can get away, right? Tactically, I don't think we're going to be... I don't expect us to be set up in a way tactically that is significantly better than what Wolves are doing or anything like that. I think ultimately, as long as we control the midfield, technically, we just have superiority against them all over the pitch, really. And so that should be enough to win out their game, right? Like, you know, sometimes that is enough. You don't need all the time to completely, you know, boss every single phase of the game against a certain team to win. And I don't think we necessarily will have to do that against Wolves to win. But ultimately, what does happen when we play teams that are better than Wolves, right? That's the big question mark. So I expect us to get through this game. I really do. I hope it's not an end-to-end game, but again, I think that will be very dependent on what Greenwood and Sancho do when we're defending. Like, they're going to be really important for us defensively. But beyond that, it'll probably be very similar to Burnley. And I know some people might not want to hear that. I think some people want to see the Crystal Palace performance in this game. I don't think we're going to see that. I'd be very surprised if we saw anything similar to that.
No, I think I think Rangnick has looked at it and gone, look, we realistically, I need to get results. And Adam was saying last night that he'd be very surprised if this wasn't quite a difficult watch. And I mean, look, we have got the players: Greenwood, Sancho, Ronaldo, Cavani. They're very good players, but behind them, it's I think it's very dependent on Luke Shaw again. Wan-Bissaka's never going to be that, you know, marauding fullback, and obviously Matic, McTominay, they're not really creative players. The best we can get from McTominay is that he, makes those runs to the edge of the box.
I think that's unfair though, because I think they both did a great job of pushing the ball forward. I don't think that's necessarily the issue. I think what we have an issue with in possession when we're trying to attack is that we clearly haven't done much work in terms of, figuring out efficient ways to score, patterns of play, and everyone wants to call it that. Like, that is more so our issue. We're able to push the ball forward. I think that's why he's gone with this particular pivot, because they're probably, since he's been here, they've probably been the two best at being able to do that. So I don't think that particularly is going to be the problem for us. I think, if anything, what is a bigger problem is just how we do defensively. Because when you look at that Burnley game, if you've watched it back, in the second half especially, they were just playing for it. Like, they had so much possession of the ball. Like, they kept the ball so well against us. And
did you think that Burnley game was convincing, 3-1? Or did
no, definitely not. Definitely not convincing. Definitely not convincing. Yeah, they controlled the game in certain phases, and you know better than me. Rangnick constantly talks about controlling games, right? He doesn't want teams to be able to control games against us, and Burnley did. So I expect him to work on. I expect the difference in this game to be us fixing what allowed Burnley to control games, because if Wolves do that, Wolves are better than Burnley technically, so they're going to punish us more than Burnley were able to.
Yeah, I'm massively excited about this game. I mean, look, the Phil Jones thing just feels like an icing on a cake. It really does. But I think that not just this game, but Villa in the league, they're both teams that they're not bottom half of the table teams. They're not relegation teams. They're not top 6 teams, but they're sort of 8th and 9th, and decent managers and decent players that if you don't respect them and, you do leave gaps. I know Wolves don't score a lot and they don't concede a lot, but it is a very intriguing game. How do you think it's going to go? I know it's very difficult to predict. I mean, look, we predict score predictions. I think United will find a way tonight. I think we'll find a way. I'm never going to say that we're going to play well, but I think we'll find a way to win the game. Do you think that's a bit optimistic, or do you think that's the right way to be? No,
I don't think that's optimistic. I think when you got Luke Shaw and Sancho on the left-hand side, I think we'll probably play through there quite a bit. Look, I was concerned about their relationship in that first game, just because in like before Sancho got the own goal, it wasn't really working too well. And, when it finally did click a bit, that's when we were able to score the goal. But I think another game under their belt together, hopefully we can see a better relationship with them too. And that is something to be excited about. But I think it'll be, I really have faith that we have worked on our defensive compactness, because if we haven't, we'll get exposed. And if we have worked on that, I think we should have control of most of this game. I don't think it'll be as exhilarating. I don't think we'll be as direct as we were in that Crystal Palace game. I think we need to be a bit more patient about the way we defend. I mean, the way we attack, sorry. So I still expect us to have control for most of this game. I'm not expecting anything crazy still. I'm still a bit conservative in that sense. I don't think it'll be like a crazy scoreline.
Draw is going to go through some super chats with you in a moment when I just take a quick pre-match toilet break, because I'm getting very excited. But one of the things I did want to talk to you before I do that is Ronaldo. I just saw him on the pitch there. They're in a circle that they're warming up, and he's talking to the players. He's communicating with the players, and I do watch that. And I've never seen that before, because obviously Maguire's the captain. I don't know really how to phrase the question. Do you think that the captaincy in Ronaldo's hand will make any difference in a game like this to what Harry Maguire and his poor form has been doing recently? Do you think it is that impactful? Do you think we could see a more engaged Ronaldo because he's the captain? And do you think that could make a difference to the team?
I think we have to be careful, because if we go out there today and we win this game and we look good, I think people will very quickly jump on, Ronaldo was the captain, we were much better this game, when that might not be the actual cause. Like, I think if we're going to look, when we come away from this game, regardless of what the result is, and we're making conclusions or whatever we're trying to do, we need to be very careful. I do think Ronaldo being the captain, hopefully we get to see a bit more of that first half Crystal Palace from him, where he is more engaged, he is running more, and he is, sort of trying to lead by example. So hopefully in terms of his own personal performance, we see an improved, and I think we probably will. But I don't know how it's going to affect the whole team. I don't necessarily think it will have a massive, difference on the team as a whole and how we play.
I can confirm that Phil Jones is not wearing pink boots. I don't know the colour of his boots, but he is not wearing pink boots. I think they might be white boots, but he's not wearing pink boots. Right. Droy is just going to pop in with the 11 and just go through some of the super chats. I'll be back in a few seconds' time.
Okie dokie. Enjoy your Pete.
Thank you.
How do you know it's a P? Might be a number 2 for all you know.
It is.
You know what? He's pretty nervous that Phil Jones is playing, and so he just needs to drop a log real quick. I understand.
I know he was texting me the whole time before saying, if Phil Jones starts, I'm going to need to do something. So, he's going to, let's not say the S word, but himself. So that's fine.
Yeah.
First super chat then. First Phil Jones returns, and now Levin. 2022 is lit. I thought you might like that one.
Yo, it's good to be back, people. Look, I still feel like really low energy. Like, I feel like, I still feel a bit tired. COVID did mess me up quite a bit. But I'm starting to feel a bit like I couldn't speak last week. Like, it was really bad for me last week. But I do feel better. I have a bit more energy. So it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Let's have a good year. Hopefully a year of success for Manchester United.
Glad you're feeling better, man, because COVID is not good. I haven't had it myself. It's not great. So, next super chat is Mark. I mean, he's gone for a piss, so or shit, whatever. All our squad have been given a chance by Ralph. Who knows? Maybe Jones will turn it around and force his way back into the team. I mean, Jones hasn't actually been in the team since before the pandemic started. Is this where he can turn it around? Can Phil Jones, at the age of 30 next month, be back in the team 11?
I'm sorry,
your face is not filling me with confidence right now. So
because I just don't think. Look, I think Phil Jones is just like we literally just don't have any other centre back. It's weird though because with Bailly, right? So what? Bailly's not in the team because he's gone to AFCON, right? Because I thought the Premier League got special dispensation to allow like players to stay till the 3rd of January, but maybe I'm just wrong on that. I'm sure someone in chat will know. But yeah, like, look, I don't expect to see a Phil Jones revival, guys. Hopefully, look, best case scenario, right? And look, I know some people might get angry at me for trying to sell Phil Jones. Best case scenario, he puts on a masterclass. Newcastle go, hold on a minute. That's the centre back we could use. And then, we go from there. That's best case scenario for me.
So basically what you're saying is you want Jones to play well today so you can sell him to Newcastle next week.
I am saying that, Jordy. That is exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, he's selling Phil Jones already?
Look, I knew this was going to happen. I knew they were going to come for me. Look, Phil Jones, I don't know how Phil Jones went from being the most bantered player in our team to being the most loved. Like, Phil Jones is like, you can't even chat bad. Yeah, you can't even chat bad about Phil Jones no more. What's going on?
No, let's just talk about that because we're getting very close to kickoff. But I am not falling for the hype. I love the affection in the chat. I've almost fallen for it myself, but I don't rate him, Levin. I really don't. I hope he has a good game. I really do. There's zero future in him. He's 30 next month. He's had more injuries than bloody casualty. And I just don't. But above all that, I think some people think, oh, he's had so many injuries, that's why he's crap. I actually think he's not that good. And I'm hoping I'm going to be wrong because if he doesn't play well tonight, we'll probably lose the game. We need him to play a good performance. I almost feel sorry for him in a way because I think, you know what social media is like anyway. But even if he hadn't had those pink boots moments and those memes, there would be a lot of focus on him anyway. There's a lot of focus on him tonight. It's a lot of pressure. I don't envy him that tonight.
Yeah, and it's even more pressure when it's like, you're someone who historically hasn't really been that great, and like you're stepping in Maguire's position, and he's not been that great. So if you're also not that great, you're just gonna get all the pelters that Maguire was also getting. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be, it's gonna be a continuation in a sense. Like, look, I don't have much confidence in the back line, if I'm being honest. Like I already talked about like just not being able to play out from the back, etc. But even when it comes to just like the control of the back line, like our back line in the Burnley game was way too deep. Like that was another issue in terms of like if you're talking about compactness, cool. Of course you need, your wide tends to come in and help defend, but you also just need, your pivot to have a good connection with your back line. There was way too much space between the two in that game. And if Maguire, who is supposed to be the leader and the captain, wasn't doing a good enough job of controlling that, what are the chances that Phil Jones is going to be able to come in and make a big impact in that sense when he's not competed at the highest level in quite a while now? Probably not a lot. So, Varane will have to do a carry job today, most likely. Varane will probably have to do a carry job. We're going to have a really good Varane performance, not just in his technical ability, but from a leadership sense. I want to see Varane constantly just looking left, right, and telling everyone to push up. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see from Varane today.
I think as well, look, we all want Phil Jones to do well because we want Manchester United to win, but it is a weird set of circumstances. Look, some people would say Harry Maguire should have been dropped. I agree with that, but there's no way you would drop him tonight because you wouldn't drop Harry Maguire to play Phil Jones in his first game in what feels like it's a few years. We're unlucky that we've got two centre-backs that offer very different things that could have slotted in next to Varane and you'd feel a lot more confident. I mean, if Lindelof didn't have COVID and Bay presumably has gone to the AFCON, either of those two players would make us feel a lot more confident, Levin. But it is what it is. And there is no other centre-back on the bench. And therefore, he either picks a centre-back or he puts somebody in a position that they're not really accustomed to playing.
Yeah, and as well, it would fuel the sort of why is Phil Jones here stuff even more, right? Like, imagine if Phil Jones was actually on the bench today, right? Like, then we'd all be complaining, like, hold on a minute, why is Phil Jones here? Right, so I get it, but I just really hope that the defensive structure is much better and protects him, because that can happen, right? Like, you look around the Premier League, there are plenty of defenders who look better than they are because they're in systems with good defensive structure. And it works the other way as well, right? You look at our defenders for the past year, our defensive structure under Ollie wasn't great. And so a lot of them looked a lot worse than they probably are, right? So, it works both ways. Hopefully, though, today it works in our favour and that Phil Jones actually does look good because defensively as a team, we are just much better.
Yeah, definitely. Where's this going then, Levin? Are you like me, fancy United to win tonight, or is it got? It could be. Look, they're never good games against Wolves. Even the one at the Molineux, we were very lucky to win that. Actually, it'd be funny if we were lucky again tonight and we take 6 points off them. Actually,
yeah, I think we will win just because I do think we just have better players who, when it comes down to it, will make the difference for us. Just like they did in the Burnley game. But at the same time, like I get, I know you were talking about this earlier, and I know people are trying to twist your words and whatnot and go, oh, you're switching on Rangnick already. Like I get like why people aren't inspired by, maybe the lineup or some of the tactics they've seen over the last couple of games. They've been questionable. Like, understandably, I think we have a manager who we know has a clear idea and theoretically has everything on lock. But I think, he's clearly, having to make adjustments in the Premier League, now that he's here. I think it was very telling, the comments he made about Burnley and some of the other teams when he went, these teams would never be bottom in the Bundesliga. It's clear that he's actually going, hold on a minute, like, there's a lot better quality in the Premier League. So he's adjusting, he's adapting, Fortunately, he has an easier run of games to be able to do so without there being too much risk in terms of results. And hopefully he gets to that place as soon as possible so that when we do face a good team, there won't be too much issues.
Well, look, we spoke about Rangnick when we got him and the excitement there. And I know quite a lot about Rangnick. I'd argue you probably know a lot more. And, you say anything constructive and people start saying you're against Rangnick. I probably know more about Rangnick than a lot of people did. I'm not against Rangnick. I'm 100% behind him, but I don't recognise what he's doing really at the moment. Apart from the fact, I think he's getting the best out of what he's got, which, to be fair, Levin, if you know anything about Rangnick, he does have a history of that. Yes, he's got this style of play that other people have adapted, like Tuchel and Nagelsmann. But every club he's gone into in the short term, he does tend to look at it and go, I need to get the best out of what I've got. And ultimately, the way United have played over the last 6 years has been quite a pragmatic way. And, against Burnley, I thought we created a lot more chances than we ever used to under Ollie, but there was a little bit of similarity in where we lined up. But there's definitely evolution. It's probably just not as quick as some of us might have thought it would be.
Yeah, and I think the big thing is all that people need to understand, and this is something that I actually said when we got Rangnick to people who maybe were a bit skeptical, because I think it's a valid point. Yes, we know his philosophical idea around football is one that is exciting and one that's been adapted to work at the highest, levels of football. But you have to remember, right, it has been adapted to work, right? You look at Klopp when he first came in, the way he was trying to play versus now, difference, right? Still same sort of principles, but difference because he had to adapt certain things to work for the Premier League to compete against Pep and the other, best managers in the world. And I don't think that's different even with Rangnick, right? Same thing with Tuchel. Tuchel had to adapt certain things for things to work. So, I think what we're seeing right now is probably one, Rangnick's, adaptation phase, and two, realizing that some of the players he's got probably don't actually fit or work with what he wants to do. And so he has to work around that somehow. So it's understandable why we are how we are. And the most important thing is as well, I think people need to focus on as well. It's not like we're dropping points though right now. Like we are still able to get results. And I think we should still be able to get a result today against Wolves.
And yeah, I suppose that's the thing, isn't it, really? The result is what matters tonight. You could have a 3-3 classic, and actually we'd be better off with a 1-0 dull game, because actually the way Spurs and Arsenal... What are you thinking? Just quickly, I know we're getting very, very close to kick off, but in relation to top four, last night we were on the show and I said, I personally don't think unless we buy a midfielder, we will get top four, because I just don't think he's got enough depth in the midfield. I don't think Matic can play as much, but top four, are you still confident we can do that?
Confidence is waning, Mark. It is. Because I look at Arsenal, I look at Spurs, not going to be easy. Not going to be easy. And even with some of the other teams like West Ham, etc., just not going to be easy. Not going to be easy at all. Like, those teams look really good and they look like they're improving at a faster rate than we are improving. So it's going to be a tough race. Definitely going to be a tough race.
Well, it's great to have you back, Levin. Not so sure what I prefer, Levin back or Phil Jones back. Definitely Levin.
Phil Jones beats me out here. I'll give it to Sir Phil Jones. He beats me out here.
But very excited for the game. Great to have you back, and let's hope we get the 3 points.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. I appreciate all the people that, showed me love and support. I had a lot of you guys message me telling me to get well soon and whatnot. I do appreciate that. We'll be back for the fan forum later today after the game, so be sure to stick around for that. And up the Reds. And Mark, can you call my friend Beth a Pratt?
Beth, you're a Pratt, and she's
and get well soon.
And get well soon. Actually, yeah, watch a fan forum tonight is going to be roughly around the 8 o'clock slot. So it's a golden slot for the forum tonight, and I think there'll be a lot to discuss. And I'm sure Phil Jones will get a mention. We'll speak to you a bit later, 11:11. Take care, pal.
See you guys later.
I'm also fully aware that Paul Ince is on Sky Sports and has been talking about Scott McTominay being captain again. I'd heard a nasty rumour that he'd said this before. Apparently, he's just said it on mainstream media. He's on the United stand at 10:30 tomorrow. Don't worry. I'll be speaking to him about that one very early in the show on tomorrow morning. But we'll also be talking about this game, I'm sure, tomorrow. Really excited. I hope you are as well. Not often we get to say Ronaldo's captain. Not often we get to say Phil Jones is in the team. I mean, I'll be absolutely honest. I don't like that team. I didn't like it against Burnley, and I don't like it tonight. I like most of the players. I just don't like the team. To me, I like a midfield that's got 3 in it, and I like my midfield 3 to have some creativity and tenacity in it. My best Man United midfield 3 was the Sevilla. I think it was Sevilla final of the Euro. Was it? No, it's the semi-final when we lost to them, and it was Fred, Pogba, and Bruno. I like a dynamic midfield 3. I think we've got 2 giants and nothing else. I worry about that midfield, but I hope I'm going to be wrong. What has to happen in that midfield tonight is Matic has to run that midfield well enough that McTominay can get to the edge of the box, because it's very difficult in football to pick up a runner who makes it to the edge of the box. And if you can cut those balls back, as we saw with McTominay against Burnley, he's got a good shot on him, but he's got to be able to get forward. Very difficult to pick up a player on the edge of the box who's breaking from the midfield. So McTominay, I think, is very important today. I'm worried about the midfield. I'm not going to mention Phil Jones because I am worried about him. But we're about to start the game. Mark, I just woke up. I'm sorry if you already answered, but why is Maguire not starting? He's injured, Bain. Please subscribe, by the way. We're only 100 away from 246,000. Let's get that number in the top right corner changed. Wolves, to me, are a bit of the unknown. I don't remember if I've even watched Wolves this season, apart from the game at Molineux. So Wolves, to me, fantastic defensive record. Only City have conceded less. Very good footballing side, but don't score enough goals. could easily be 0-0 tonight. I wouldn't blame anybody who goes and win 0-0. I think we'll win it 1 or 2-0. But we're about to start the match. Exciting times. Phil Jones is playing for Manchester United. Interesting early spot. Varane has moved from right-sided centre-back to left-sided centre-back. We're off. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they have accommodated Jones a little bit. They've moved him to the right-sided centre-back position. I'm worried about Matic and McTominay. They can easily get around. Wolves is not Burnley, says Arika. Well, let's just see how this game goes. I am worried about it. I've just got a bad feeling about tonight. I think Neves and Moutinho will cause problems to our midfield too. But look, let's see what happens. Lovely play by Semedo to start off with. And Wolves putting a cross in. Phil Jones heads it away. Oh, give him man of the match. It was like prime Bobby Moore. I can understand why Jones is in. Ranić is just giving one chance before chucking him out. No, Pranav, we can't afford to do that. Thanks for all the super chats tonight. I love United stand. Getting Goldbridge, having 5 pints for you, mate, in New York. I want to be in New York, in one of these bars in New York, having pints, watching football. This is one of. I've got to get travelling this year. Anyway, look, Wolves with a lot of possession here, and you know what? Look. We may well get another performance like Newcastle and Burnley, where if you didn't know Ranić was in charge, you think Ollie was still in charge. But it's about the result tonight. New York, concrete jungle where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Nice ball out wide. Lots of ball for Wolves here. Sancho's playing off the left, by the way. And United have started off quite poorly. An early shot. And Matic, what's Matic doing? He's headed it away. Wolves having a lot of possession here. A lot of possession here. I don't think United have really touched the ball much here. Cross comes in. Oh, it's a good cross. It'll go out for a goal kick. Dangerous cross. And that's one of them crosses where I think if Wolves had it's a bit of a contradiction, really. If they had a bit of bite in the penalty box, I think they'd be 1-0 up here. But this has been their problem all season. It's a lovely cross, and striker just doesn't anticipate it. Goes for a goal kick. Not a good start, says Ruffin. Well, early days, United haven't even touched the ball yet. But Wolves, definitely the better side here, keeping the ball. But hopefully United now can have a little bit of possession themselves. McTominay's just knocked it back. Missed my super chat 7 minutes ago. Was a funny one, says Angel. And so sorry, there was a few flying through. Apologies for that. I'm sure Drawty can put some up on the screen as we're talking. Remember, we're sponsored by Manscaped. We're going to need to show a bit of balls tonight. Nice ball up to Ronaldo. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. Primary elite male grooming by Manscaped. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger with that, and get your nose hair trimmed with that. 2022 is the year for you to take up the male grooming and get 20% off with Manscaped. Right, free worldwide shipping as well. Lots of possession for Wolves here. I'm not going to panic too much. We've only played 3 minutes, but I would imagine possession stats ain't doing us any favours at the moment. Mike says that Scott McTominay just tried a no-look pass. Was that the one that went back to David De Gea? Well, I predicted the midfield would be a problem today. Could be a problem today. Nice ball there, though, by McTominay. And he is trying to burst forward a lot. I'd give credit to that. McTominay is trying to burst forward a lot, but we've got to see a lot of work from Cavani there. We've got to work to get that ball back. And surprised they didn't give a foul there, the ref. Wolves working hard to keep the ball. Switch of the play. Wan-Bissaka should be winning that, and he does. Greenwood playing off the right, Sancho playing off the left. We're basically playing a 4-4-2. And Wolves are not messing about here. How is Phil Jones playing, Liam? He's not done anything wrong yet. He's won a header. Oh, God. Oh, Wan-Bissaka's read that one quite well. Greenwood not able to keep hold of it. You get to travelling to New York, mate. I might be just one of 100 ready to greet you, says US 45. Thanks, pal. And another goal kick there. Mark, Happy New Year, mate. Come on, United. You all right, Seb?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm a bit late for football.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Whose fault's that?
Mummy, because he's just... No, it's not. It's nobody's fault.
Oh.
It's just because I think everybody's already there, but we're going to drive a bit fast.
Well, don't go too fast.
We won't.
You better score some goals. You got Ronaldo's top on?
Yeah.
All right. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Seb's very loyal. He won't throw his mum. He won't ever blame his mum. If it was me, he'd go, yeah, it's my fault. He's on his phone again. Wolves are dominating possession here. Horrible start. A lot of people in the chat are saying it's domination from Wolves at the moment and it's a corner. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes, but this is not a good start from United. Our only hope, our only saving grace is that Wolves are like a basking shark. They're toothless. They've got a muzzle on. Very tidy at the back. They wipe their own arse, but at the front, they've got a muzzle on. Our players treat the ball like a grenade, says Carter. And I don't see the hype with Ralph, just excuses being made up for him, says United. Very early to start talking about that. Happy New Year, mates, says Andy and Bruno. Happy birthday. Happy New Year to you. Could be your birthday. Anyway, corner to Wolves. They've gone short and might be working something here, actually. They've gone short. Back post, Wan-Bissaka does well. He's had a reasonable start. Who is Man United captain, Mark? Viva Ronaldo, Harvey. It's Viva Ronaldo. Matic clears the ball. Mason Greenwood takes it down. I tell you what, the referee doesn't mind a bit of physicality. What a ball this is. Sancho's in. He waits for Ronaldo. Sancho. Good block. Still got it. Well, United breaking there. You know, like vintage Solskjaer football, that was. Here's Greenwood. Good play. Sancho. Cross. Semedo clears. Well, United looking a threat on the break. Where have we heard that before? Pretty much for the last 6 years. And Wan-Bissaka wins it back. Mike Dean, I think, is the ref. He's letting it go physically a lot. Greenwood loses the ball there. He's letting a lot of it go, which is good. You want to see that. But yeah, a very, very, very typical United start here. And you know, as we were talking about with Levin, if you know Rangnick's style of football, this is not what we expected from Rangnick. But as I said as well, he is very good at going into a club and getting the best out of what he's got. And I think he is just getting the best out of what he's got at the moment. Because, you know, ultimately, to play a certain brand of football, he's probably going to have to bring in a lot of players. Can you call my mate Lennox a prat, says Hypno? Just did. Greenwood looking lively. Sancho looking lively. Sancho really needed to play Ronaldo in there, says Simran. I thought he was. I think you're right. I was very surprised he didn't slip Ronaldo in, but this is why I don't like us not having a number 10. You know, we're basically playing a 4-4-2, and I don't like it. This is a very similar system to Ollie's, but we're playing 2 up front instead of having a number 10. I don't like it. Ursula says Greenwood's playmaking is underrated. Well, we're basically playing with, as I said, I don't want to say it again, but we're playing with 2 wide players, Greenwood off the right, Sancho off the left. I liked Luke Shaw and Sancho's link-up play against Burnley. What's the story behind the Mbappe pink boots? Raxit. Hi, Mark. If everyone is getting a clean slate, guess Phil Jones should, says IQ. Yeah, definitely. I hope he gets man of the match. I guess this is goodbye to top 4. The midfield is too defensive, but still going for United wins, says Mohammed. If he's going to pick this team week in, week out, I think it's going to be a hard watch because we're basically going to have to play on the break. But Phil Jones intercepts quite well. McTominay, play the forward pass. Well done. Greenwood keeps it in. Nice. United having a bit more of the ball here, which is what we want to see. Wan-Bissaka, Phil Jones. Ronaldo playing very deep here. I don't like to see Ronaldo and Cavani come in that deep, but I suppose they have to get in the game. But good to see United having a bit of possession here. And then we give it away. Then Neves, Semedo. Phil Jones does well. He'll get a cheer for that. And a free kick on Sancho. Rangnick tried his strategy a few times and clearly realised that the stamina and physicality required was lacking, and hence he's moving to a more get best out of the team approach, says Parth. I would agree with you on that. If McTominay's the generational player that people think, then why the fuck don't they play him in this position? He is quite decent near the opposition box. Then how does everyone play him as a CDM or centre-back, says Anand. No team news leaks and Maguire nowhere near to be seen. Maybe Rangnick put his foot down, says Jacob. And... well, look, it's 0-0. I'd say Wolves have had the better possession, but possession doesn't win you a game. Goals win you a game. And United, I wouldn't be too concerned about United at the moment. Wolves' big problem is scoring goals. Let them have the ball if that's what they want to do. And if it creates a space to exploit them, yes, we're at home. But what is tonight all about? Tonight is all about 3 points. Is Podence up against Phil Jones? Oh, he got his shot off. A good save by De Gea. Draughty's in my ear saying Phil Jones looks glorious and he bloody doesn't defend. Fletcher in the technical area again. Sick of being a mates rate club, says Luke Darling. Don't show me pictures of Fletcher. I like Podence. He's a bit like an Aldi Hazard. He was injured for most of last season, but I do like Podence. I think he's a decent player. And, Phil Jones would have been at fault there. Looks knackered already, says Vicious. It's just his face. I don't think Phil Jones is knackered. He's just got that sort of a face. Neves. Oh, another good save. De Gea again. Fletcher in the technical area, says Luke Darling. De Gea man of the match again already. 2 good saves. Good shot by Neves. It wasn't quite Kovacic, but it was decent. It was a good save. That was a better save than the first one. So De Gea's made 2 saves already here. And you're not... Oh, my God, another one. Another one. That was wild. That's not going to be causing us any problem. Let's have a look at this again. I think this is a great shot by Neves. And it's a great save by De Gea as well. Good technique, Neves. I'd love Neves in our midfield. That is a great save by De Gea, to be fair. I think Wolves will be very happy with their start. But as I said, they have the real problem putting the ball in the back of the net. Ben Hall says Jones for England. Hey, he could be playing in the World Cup. Who knows? This could be the start of a madness. Jones just looks like a better Maguire, says Lucas. The Phil Jones hype is there. Jones off, hurt, Matic at centre-back and McFred back in the middle. Wait, what minute are we saying, says Sean Turner. United need to get hold of the ball a little bit here. Phil Jones just played a good forward pass. Mason Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka's offside. Why on earth is Fletcher in the technical area, says Parth. Well, De Gea again. He's just won Player of the Month, I think, for December again. I think he won it in November. Like how Mike Dean's letting some challengers off. Yes, Will. I mean, look, I know referees get a lot of stick, but I think he's been quite good today. There's been a few 50-50s that I think he could have given fouls for. And what is Matic doing there? Don't do back heels to Wolves players. Podence is the sort of player that our midfield will struggle really with. Lovely ball into Semedo. Watch out for the cutback. It's a good cross, but again, there's no Wolves players there. I'm not gonna over-egg the pudding here with this, but I am quite confident that Wolves won't score many goals. Why is there no backup centre-back, says Grant Fisher? I don't know, because we haven't really got one, I suppose. There is no centre-back on the bench. Good work out from the back here at Manchester United. Not quite in the Wolves half yet. Another game with McTominay and another game where we're not in control. I give up, says Kishan. And Mike Dean's let it go again. Remember when people wanted De Gea gone, says Sean Turner. Wolves are moving the ball around well. Good interception by McTominay, but we don't win the second ball. And Wan-Bissaka does well. I tell you what, Wolves are playing well here. Ralph likes to say that player didn't do anything that deserved to be dropped. So what did Delo do to deserve to be dropped, says Alec Miller? Well, Wan-Bissaka's having a good game. I do agree that I'd like to have seen Delo play, and I think Delo's unlucky not to be playing, considering he didn't play on against Burnley for rotational reasons. But United, 15 minutes for the home team. This has not been good. This has not been good. If this was a previous manager, there'd be people not happy with this. Yeah. Well, Dory just said it. It's like we're playing at the Molineux. And what's Cavani doing there? Just head it away, mate. Right, here we go. On the break again. Phil Jones passes it out. Bloody twat. That was a break, Phil. He boots it out. He's focused. He's focused tonight. Focused Phil. If Donny is worse than our current midfield, then everybody, then everything anybody understands about football is wrong, says Andy Harris. Yeah, we've lost the midfield battle again, haven't we? Yeah. Our best chance in this game is the fact that Wolves just can't score and we can. So hopefully if we just get one chance, we'll score. But they are, I think every time we played Wolves, even under Nuno, they had this ability to sort of dominate us, but then not score. I mean, look, Ruben Neves is shooting from 30 yards. If I'm David De Gea, I'm saying, keep doing that. You're not going to beat me from there. But stop playing the games. Is Aaron Wan-Bissaka defensively solid? I think Wan-Bissaka's had a good start to this game, yeah. Have you got it on, have you? All right. Sean Turner says Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the better choice. It was obvious Wolves would have more possession. And I agree with Sean on that, actually. I said it in the preview, as I said a few minutes ago. I think to Delo, it was all about whether Rangnick wanted to attack. If he wanted to attack, he would have played Delo. If he knew he was going to be defensive, he'll play Wan-Bissaka. And to be honest with you, we're not attacking. So he's probably made the right choice. It's just not the choice the fans want, is it? We want to play more attacking, but I think he's set us up here to hit them on the break. This is not going to go well. United can't hold to the ball. Donny in and Ronaldo out. Well, Donny played with Matic at Molineux at the end of last season, and they ran the midfield. So here's Semedo. Good save by De Gea again. I mean, they've had three good saves by De Gea already. It's not great, is it? Imagine Neves in a United shirt. Don't think we would be talking about losing the midfield battle, says Anthony Jury. Chelsea-Liverpool yesterday was all about tempo, says Aram. The players created it through quick, accurate passing. We can't get the ball, Aram. Midfield battle getting lost again. So clear where the disconnect is, says IQ. Absolutely no connection from defence to midfield to forward. Our midfield continue to be a joke, says Amir. Paul Ince mentioning on live T about McTominay should be United captain, says Ravi. Oh, I'll be talking to Paul tomorrow, don't you worry. Why are our strikers deeper than our midfield, says Lucas. Well, finally, United having a little bit of the ball here. McTominay, not a great first touch, but he's still got it. And nice ball out wide to Wan-Bissaka. Come on, use this. Cavani, back to McTominay. Back to Matic. Sancho is just playing well. He needs to focus, says Soresh. And I watched Chelsea-Liverpool twice. It was fire, says Binny. And Zayn is shaking his... I don't know what he's shaking there. Go! Oh, no. Wan-Bissaka put the cross in. I saw Ronaldo leaping like a salmon. And it was just over his head. And Wolves clear it. Better from United. Nice cross by Wan-Bissaka. And for a moment there, I thought Ronaldo was going to leap and make it 1-0. But nice ball to Wan-Bissaka from McTominay. Good cross, just not quite got the height. Sorry, not just a little bit too high. Quality cross by Wan-Bissaka, says Nepo. But United need to get a foot on the ball here. I'd say possession-wise, Wolves have got to be around 60%, maybe more. Yeah, the trouble with this is you drop Bruno, but you know he's coming on second half, because if this continues, you've got to get him on. There's no point having Cavani and Ronaldo up front and not giving them any service. I mean, in theory, it's great. Wow, I've got Cavani and Ronaldo up front, but they've not had a shot. So, you know, yeah, well, I love it. I love playing Cavani and Ronaldo up front. I love a front two, but if you're not going to create any chances, you've got to take one of them off and get a midfield going, haven't you? Here we go. Oh, no, it's a throw in. I actually think we play this less tempo and pressing than what we did under Ollie. Ralph hasn't had a good start, says Sean Turner. What's that ticking noise? Sound like you're going to blow up. I'm like, bloody hell, what's going to happen here? Ticking time bomb in my ear, don't worry. Drorty's doing some cooking. Got a timer on. I'll tell you what, United ain't cooking at the moment. Why will we never see Donny in Matic's positions as cap? Well, Matic's position is the holding midfielder. I don't think Donny's really ever going to be that. I think if you want to see Donny in the midfield, it would have to be in McTominay's position. Look, Phil Jones has just passed the ball to Scott McTominay. You know, that line, that sentence really is not what you'd expect of a Man United side, is it? We are definitely missing Bruno's tenacity. I don't care how many times he gives the ball away. We're lacking passion, says Shiraz. And why can't our overpriced players keep the ball for more than 30 seconds, says Karan. Yeah, good point. Well, United are having a little bit more of the ball here. We've settled a little bit, which after the first 15 minutes is not a bad thing. 22 minutes gone, and I'd say in the last few minutes, United have had a little bit more of the ball. Wolves playing quite high line. Rashi on second half, says Matteo. Mark, I hope Ronaldo keeps that armband, says Amir. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're getting on the road towards 250,000, $250,000. Get involved with the United stand. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Second half, you can do your player ratings. We've got the match reaction. Then we've got the fan forum, which will be at 8 o'clock tonight. A little bit of an earlier fan forum, with it being a 5:30 kickoff. But don't get dragged into the mundaneness of this first 20 minutes. We've got to win. We need to win these sort of games. With a home team against Wolves, if this is Spurs or Arsenal, even West Ham, they'd be seeing this as an opportunity to win. Good run again by Wan-Bissaka. His pass is poor, but Greenwood still picks it up. Puts the cross in. Go on, Wan-Bissaka. No, you can't get that. And Luke Shaw's in there, though. United just having a little bit more of the ball here. McTominay, bad first pass, but gets another chance and gives it away again. Two poor passes there from McTominay in a position where we should have been forging an attack. I thought Rangnick was the godfather of gegenpress. What the hell are we watching here, says Reza. And Wolves just playing out that press at the moment. And Luke Shaw's out of position, so Semedo gets a bit of space. One thing I would say about United is we're getting back into position very quickly as a back eight. Frustrating to watch, says Wazaldo. What a ball that... No, it's not good. They'll get it right this time. Neves, he'll go wide. Can any of us actually say Ralph plays better style of football than the previous manager, says Anthony? Well, it's like Drorty was just saying to me, mentality needs to change before you can get these players playing the way he wants to play. We're middle of a season. I think it was always going to be a big ask to get these players playing the right way. Podence, is he offside? No. Done well, though. Good shot. De Gea makes the save. He's made 4 saves. 4 saves by De Gea already. mean, look, I'm all for winning the game 1-0, but, you know, you do want to be entertained and you do want to feel like you deserve it at times. And I don't think Wolves have had a clear-cut chance, but they have made De Gea work on 4 occasions. Now, that's a good ball. No, it's not. It's just the angle of the camera made it look better than it was. That's twice I've done that now. Oh, McTominay, what you doing, you twat? Well in by Varane. He's got to switch on McTominay. This is the trouble with McTominay and Fred. You know, man of the match against Palace, shit against Norwich. Man of the match against Burnley. I'm talking about Fred there. Man of the match against Burnley. Where's the confidence of that performance against Burnley from McTominay? Guy, Ralph has a style of play. It's our players. Clearly, it's not Ralph. He can be stubborn, has to do what he can to win the game, says SK. Free kick here. Foul on Greenwood. Makes a big difference having Varane back. Right, come on, Scott. Get your passing going again. That's better. Better into Ronaldo. Shoots. And we've had a shot on goal. It was never going to go in a million years, but McTominay found Ronaldo with a good pass there. Wolves don't concede many goals, but bloody hell, they don't score many either. I know it's still early, but this is the sign why Ranić has never managed at the top level before. Not seeing sign of anything bar first half versus Palace, is Aram. We can't Gegan press. Wait a minute. Martinez, wild. We can't Gegan press because we lose the ball all the time. Players got no time to regain energy to start press again. Passing needs to be a lot better, says Matthias. Thanks for the super chats there. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. There's zero creativity up front, and we aren't even keeping the ball well enough. 25 minutes and our first shot. Might as well bring a book. The Wolves goalkeeper, says Kay. That's way too far. That's a terrible ball by Varane. Wan-Bissaka wins it back. Come on, Scott. Loses the ball again. And they lose the ball. And we get the ball back. Mark, do you think if Ronaldo stays captain in demand of change formation, says Joseph? I just don't think. Look, it's 0-0. And if we go and score now, it's Scott. Oh. If we go and score now, it's not been a great half, but we're winning. Another cross by Wan-Bissaka. Too high again. United are so boring, 8 years of it, and I'm sick of it, says Jack Brown. Good play by Wan-Bissaka. He's just put 2 crosses in that are a little bit too high, but he does well here. But, I'll go back to what I was saying before. Nice link up between Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka. He's just put too much on the cross, and Ronaldo can't head it in. But if we'd go 1-0 up there, people would say, what are you moaning about? We're 1-0 up. And I think that's the problem, isn't it? We have been doing this for 8 years. You're absolutely spot on. Where result over quality gets valued. And at some point, I'm not saying it has to happen now, but at some point, you've got to start saying, when are we going to get good football? Are we going to get good football with these players that we have? Neves is injured here. This could be a big, big boost for United if Neves goes off. We've been very lucky this season with injuries, and we might be about to get lucky again. I hope Ranić has a style of play, but players not adapting. But I have to be honest, I haven't seen anything so far. Every game is just chaos. We're going to get battered by bigger teams, says Andrew O'Brien. Mark, how can Ralph instill his style of play when he still pampers the wrong players and neglects the right players, says Christopher? What I would say is if you were playing a Chelsea or a Man City look, I wouldn't fancy playing Arsenal or Spurs at the moment. You can clip it, you can do what you like with it. But if we played like this against Arsenal or Spurs, they have got Harry Kane. They have got players that I think can score goals. Never thought I'd see the day Jones passes to Ronaldo, says Cade. I think Neves is all right. Bit of positivity for Wan-Bissaka. Good to see. I like Wan-Bissaka. He's playing very well, says Ewan. Hello from Henway. I agree. I think Wan-Bissaka's been decent. Ranić talks a good game, but I've seen no change, let alone any improvement in a month. Seen enough to know we're going nowhere with him in charge, says Biggie Third. Well, it's not a reset, is it? With Darren Fletcher in the fucking technical area, it's not a reset. I'm sorry. It's not a reset. The club have brought him in to stick a plaster on a wound. I remember the 2nd of January. I said last night, begrudgingly, I don't think we're going to get top 4. I don't think we're going to get top 4. I really don't. Because I don't see how you can say we're going to get top 4, because I've got no bloody idea what we're doing. And the way we played against Burnley was good enough to get a result against Burnley, but a 4-2-4 against Wolves, I could see it a mile off. It wasn't going to work. You've got to get another midfielder in. Got to get a midfielder in there. Look, whether it doesn't have to be Bruno. It can be Donny, but you've got to play with a midfield 3. There is no number 10. We've got to have a number 10 in a game like this. Yeah. Good ball by Phil Jones. This could be key. Mason Greenwood. Oh, he's overplayed the pass, but Wan-Bissaka keeps hold of it. Welcome to the Members Club, Mojo. Thank you very much for joining. Get your little badge next to your name. Thanks for the support. What are your thoughts on the half, everybody? I mean, we are attacking a little bit more now, but it's another loose pass by McTominay. I mean, he must be up top of the league now for giving the ball away. Semadou. I mean, we've got, again, I will applaud United. We've got back into position a lot very, very quickly today. But we're giving the ball away too much. McTominay's really been one of the biggest offenders at giving the ball away today. Podence. Oh, good tackle by Phil Jones. Don't know whether he knew about it, but he did make the interception. Cavani. Go forward, Cavani. Don't go backwards. No, Mike Dean again, letting it flow. I'll give him a bit of credit there. Well done, Matic. Slip him in, Matic. Cavani, good play. Few up being outplayed by mediocre teams, says Mark Doherty. Cavani quiet again, Mark. Should he be starting over a number 10, says Noah Kane. Go on, whip it, Luke. Back post, Greenwood. Oh, put it in now. Good header away. Needed more height on that one. Trincao, that's a foul by McTominay. Not having a very good game, is he, Scott, today? It's disappointing. And this is, I do find it disappointing because it's the thing that underpins United's problem. You know, you can be man of the match. It's the same against Palace. Fred's man of the match and then he's shit against Norwich. We just don't have this consistency. This is why, for me, you know, people start going on about McSauce and this, that, and the other. How can you play so well against Burnley and then not do it against Wolves? Well, it's because you're ultimately not that good. Good players play consistently. We struggle with consistency. Man of the match against Burnley. It's got, you know, look, we've only had half an hour. He can still turn it around, but Scooby-Doo back to his winning ways. Utter rubbish, says damn it. Just needs to calm down a bit. I think it's like his passing's just awful. We've had 64% possession in the last 10 minutes, though. So at least we've had a little bit more of the ball. Here's Phil Jones. He's on a mad one. Don't go mad, Phil. Good ball by Wan-Bissaka. Here we go. Oh, it was nearly into the path of Ronaldo by Cavani. That all started from Phil Jones. And he's done it again. He's on a mad one, Phil Jones. He's just made a great tackle. Greenwood. Oh, he nearly got through. Greenwood nearly got through there. Throw in. Yeah. Mark, it's not the system of the manager. We've had 4 managers now with the majority of these players. We need a proper squad clear out, says Andres. Oh, yeah, 100%. You know, you've got to ask, why can't Ranić get them playing? Why can't he play his way? And it is the players. The players just, you know, they're not good enough. Well, we've got to be careful here. Trincao coming forward. Nice ball. They've got options. Podence. Again, the good thing about oh my Christ, Ronaldo nearly slipping in Raul Jimenez. Oh, what a chance. I think it would have been offside anyway. Ronaldo tries to head it back to De Gea and he heads it to Jimenez. And He would have been onside because it's Ronaldo who, well, he would have been offside from the shot, maybe. Ronaldo heads it back. He's off. He's offside there, though. De Gea not happy about that. It's not been great from United, everybody. Adam nailing it last night. Would love to see Bruno for Scott and Donny in one of the number 10s, says Zark. Greenwood is having a good game. McTom needs space in midfield to perform. We've just been sloppy in our passing. I can see patterns of play, says Pranav. Jones a goat, says Thomas. I think there's a great point by Pranav there. I think McTominay's a better player when he's not pressured. When he gets pressured, his passing, becomes complacent. Against Burnley, he had a lot more time, didn't he? Well, actually. But it's been a very similar, as I said, who's this Phil Jones lad? He's on a blinder, says Adam. It's been a very familiar Manchester United performance here. And a performance that you could talk about over the last few years, not just the last few weeks. Being dominated by a better footballing side and relying on moments. Let's admit it, Jones has been better than Maguire, says Simran. Phil Jones more dangerous in the attack than McTominay. You know what? So far, Phil's done all right. Give him some credit. He looks very focused. The passing in this team is horrendous, says Owen. And love the performance from Phil Jones. Really improved since last time. If you don't mind, can you say hi to my friend? Yeah, I'm never gonna say that name, am I? Wow, us. Scott's deficiencies are just getting shown up. His first touch and passing is crap, says SK. Yeah, against Burnley, who are a relegation candidate team, he played very well. You come up against a technical team, and he doesn't look very good. The answer is in that sentence. Against the relegation side, where it's about physicality and stuff, yeah, he looked very good. Against the technical football side, he's getting bypassed. But I'm sure everybody's tired of talking about midfield battles being lost. And this is another one, I'm afraid. And they're moving around. I mean, as I said, if Wolves had... It's like when Wolves get to the final third, they brick it. But all the way up to the edge of our box, the movement is fantastic. Good, well done, Wan. Oh no, he's giving a foul there. I thought it was a good tackle. "4-2-2 ain't working," says Remy. I called it when the team news came out. You can't play with a 4-4-2 against teams like Wolves because they basically play a 5-3-2 or a 3-4-3 or whatever. They get numbers in the midfield, and we are getting bypassed in the midfield. Cavani and Ronaldo is great in a team where you're going to create chances because you've got two fantastic finishers, but you can only play one of them if you're not going to get hold of the midfield. The midfield's not good enough to play this system. Mark is absolutely right. We just can't win our midfield battles. Maybe we should sign Ruben Neves, says Davin. I think, as I said, this game has followed this flow for over half an hour now, and I think we're just reliant on the fact that Wolves don't score goals. I mean, defensively, I would say as a defensive outfit, we've done okay. Defensively, I think we've done okay. I think Phil Jones has been okay. Varane's been okay. Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, De Gea's made some good saves again. Defensively, we're good. But offensively, it's been offensive in a bad way. These three strikers on the pitch and a 4-back against the 5-back, with Wan-Bissaka being a striker on the right, and people wonder why we look so bad, says Max. Growing up watching United was exciting and attacking play. Now I'm about to have a nap during this sleepy football we play, says Ivan. And Andy and Bruno says, I think Ralph seems to be putting a team out depending on our opponent. This is nothing like what Ralph did against Palace, says Andy and Bruno. I think we'll score first in this game. I think, Wolves have dominated the ball, but I think we'll end up scoring first because we'll get a chance and we'll take it. As I said, De Gea's made probably 4 saves in this game. Their keeper's not really had to make a save yet. But if we create that chance, and we take it, we're winning, aren't we? There's a massive contrast in quality with how Neves is running the midfield in the CDM position, and Matic, Neves' contract is expiring this summer. I don't know whether it's this summer, Daniel. Jones looking more composed than Maguire has all season, says Muzzy Lions. Podence. I thought that was a foul by McTominay, but the ref says play on. He skipped past McTominay now, though. That's Matinho, not even Podence. That's a 49-year-old midfielder skipping past McTominay there. Podence, Jimenez, good turn, and a goal kick. Well done, Matic. Donny from McTominay is the sub for me. No. Oh, play by Semedo. Right. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We have still got about 5 minutes to half time. Not a lot to write home about from United's point of view. And as I said, I think we're very lucky that we're playing a Wolves side that has got no spark in the final third, which is not a surprise. That their problem has been this problem all season. Donny on for McTominay and Bruno for Cavani. Switch the formation a bit, says Path. I actually would agree with both of those things. Look, I like Cavani and I like Ronaldo, but there's no point in having a front two if you're not going to create. Here is Cavani. Go on, have a shot. Have a shot, mate. No. The team isn't technically balanced, and it's disturbing that Ralph doesn't see that, says Christopher. This is a good ball by Luke Shaw, though. Look at the way he sees the pass. It's a lovely pass into Cavani. Outside, he should be going to Greenwood. Greenwood's right. He should go to Greenwood there. But the trouble is, this used to happen under Ollie a lot as well. You see a player get dropped and you go, oh, that's a big decision. And then then the team plays shit. And it's all right not playing Bruno, but there's been absolutely no justification or reaction from the team to not pick Bruno. And he will come on with about an hour gone, and that'll be it. We'll be straight back in the team. Sad to think Ronaldo probably got more goals at Arsenal, says Ilias. And when Klopp came to the Prem, he played 2 in midfield, but had to adapt and now plays 3. I think Rangnick will have to do the same, says Jimbo. Jimbo, you make a good point. I think a lot of people highlighted that very early on with Rangnick, that this 4-2-2 thing will not work in the Prem. He will have to adapt. There's Neves. Semedo. If he gets the cut back right, good defending there by Varane again. Very, very important from Cavani, from Varane there. Two, 5, 7. Two, 5, 7 for your old mate, Dorsey. Who do you think will get fourth? I don't want to talk about that at the moment because, as I said, if Mike Dean scores with his knob in the 90th minute and Wolves have had 20 shots on goal, I'll take the win and I'll celebrate it like mad. But I don't think we're going to get top 4. I don't think we're going to get top 4 because I don't think the midfield's good enough. And I'm tired of saying every team we play, and I mean every team we play, Norwich, the lot, they have a chance of Podence is good, isn't he? They have a chance of scoring against us. They have a chance of winning the midfield battle. Everybody. Now, if you're Norwich or you're Southampton or Burnley and you're playing Liverpool, you're like, we're probably not going to win the midfield battle. But every team we play, we give them an opportunity to win the midfield battle. That doesn't mean we can't win the midfield battle, but we predominantly don't. And if you can't win a midfield battle, it doesn't matter whether you've got Varane at the back, Cavani and Ronaldo up front, Sancho on the wing. If you can't win a midfield battle, then you're going to always give teams a chance. Shout out to Phil Jones there. He made a great interception. Cross comes in. Oh, Cavani. Refs, is he going to blow up? No. I thought he was blowing up. Another corner. Very, very lucky not to be losing this. Another corner for Wolves. This will probably be the last action of the first half. I mean, I say action, the last Wolves attack, because they've dominated us. Neves. Oh, he's got it again. Oh my God, is he offside? Get your flag up, ref. Oh, he's crap. Martinez. I mean, thank God Jimenez is shit. That's all I'm going to say. Well, it is. No, it's not half time yet. But Phil Jones has probably been United's best player with Wan-Bissaka and Shaw and Varane and De Gea. The back five is probably the man of the match. Matic has been, I'm being generous. Hold on. Ronaldo falls over. McTominay and Matic have been dominated, basically. Absolutely dominated. I think it is half time. Phil Jones is running off for a pint. Rangnick's talking to his assistant coach. As long as it's not Fletcher, don't talk to Fletcher. Tell Fletcher to go and get the oranges cut. Don't listen to him. But half time, 0-0 with Manchester United and Wolves. But that's not the story of the half. That is not the story of the half at all. United defensively, De Gea, Jones, Varane, Luke Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, all of them have had a good game. Midfield, Matic and McTominay, dreadful. Greenwood and Sancho, quiet. Cavani and Ronaldo may as well be, having a turkey lunch. I mean, just dreadful. But look at this. This is compelling. All right, possession-wise, 53% to Wolves, 47% for Manchester United. But listen to this one. 4 shots for United, 14 for Wolves. That 6 corners for Wolves, none for Manchester United. That doesn't matter who the coach is, doesn't matter how long you've been at the club. That's not good enough. 14 shots for Wolves and 4 for Man United. 6 corners for Wolves and none for Manchester United. In the second half, we need to see a change, and those changes are going to have to be tactical. He's going to have to take off one of his front 2. He's going to have to go to a 3 in midfield. I called it in the preview. You cannot pick the same team that you did against Burnley and play the same formation. You can't play a 4-4-2 in the Premier League unless you're playing Leeds or Burnley. 4-4-2 won't work. You will lose the midfield battle. We've lost the midfield battle. Matic has been, I think Matic has tried, but it's not worked. McTominay has been dreadful, unfortunately. I don't know why. His passing, he's been run past again. He's not got to the edge of the box because we're nowhere near the box. You'd be better off bringing Bruno on for McTominay and playing him there. But I think what he needs to do is get hold of that midfield. He's got to go to a midfield 3. This is on Rangnick. This is on Rangnick now. Half time, it's not working. Get hold of the team. Go 4-2-3-1, whatever, 4-3-3, whatever you want to call it. You've got to take one of your strikers off or one of your front 4 off and bring on Bruno. And I would change one of the midfielders as well. For me, you've got to get Fred and Bruno on, or it never happened, Donny and Bruno on, but you've got to get hold of that midfield. I'd take McTominay off, keep Matic on, I take Cavani off, get Bruno on. It needs to happen. It needs to happen. I think the back four have been good. Phil Jones has actually played very, very well, very focused, very concentrated. But we're playing too deep. This is not the Geoghegan pressing, high line, fast tempo Ralph Rangnick that he wants to play. We're not playing a high line at all. Wolves are playing with confidence. At times, I think Wolves are playing it like a training ground exercise, and that could be to their detriment because for all the moaning about that half, and it's not a very good half from United, we can still win this game 1-0 because Wolves couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. They're toothless. Might be Wolves, but they've got gummy bears in their mouth. They've got gums. They've got no bite. So I think he's got to make the changes. The amazing thing is that we predicted this in the preview. We were talking about it last night. Adam said it last night. He expected this game to be a very boring game, and it has been from Manchester United's point of view. But we are 0-0, and that's what Wolves do. 14 shots and they haven't scored a goal. That's just typical Wolves. That's typical Wolves. What Rangnick needs to do at half time is say, look, if I was in charge, well, I don't need to be in charge to say this. Ultimately, if we were playing Liverpool or Spurs or Arsenal or Man City or Chelsea, we'd be losing that game 2-0. I don't think we played any better in that first half than we did against Liverpool when they beat us 5-0. I don't think we've played very well at all. And, people might say that's a bit over the top. I thought that half was crap. Total crap. And I think the only reason we're not getting stuffed is that Wolves can't score. We ain't getting top four. I said it last night. Fred for McTominay, Bruno for Greenwood, says Quo. Also, to be honest, I'd give Jill Phones man of the half, says Sean Finity. I honestly think the entire team needs to be changed. Clearly too many egos in the first team, says the true formation. I don't like this formation. We need to go back to 4-3-3, says Nemo. Sancho auditioning for the Fantastic Four with that invisible performance, says Jarbar Drinks. I know Phil Jones is a massive donut, but I can't fault his desire and effort. I think the defence has played well with David De Gea. That's the only positive, Garma Tom. Our four offensive players are too greedy. Even if we get chances, they make a selfish decision, says Fred. There's no top team in the world who play a 4-4-2. It's a dead formation. I've been saying that for years, K-Flow. I'm surprised that we've seen 4-4-2 back at Manchester United. McTominay is like a cotton candy today. Looks amazing at first, but gets ripped to shreds. And also, that's from Sean. We have world-class players like Ronaldo, Phil Jones, Fred, Pogba, Bruno, but we need to take advantage next transfer window and buy John Joe Shelby, says Wawas. Surely we need a manager that gives us a style of play and possession. I never see City or Liverpool get played off the park by a mid-table club, says Ty. Phil Bloody Jones, man of the match, says SJ. Those stats are awful. We are the home team. We need an extra body in midfield, says Rory Saunders. And for the love of God, scrap this 4-2-2 and switch to 3-4-3 or 4-3-3. This is absolutely horrible to watch, says Portuguese Power. Read the lips of Lenz. He said, take Matic off, Bruno or Van der Beek incoming, says George. And Stephen Fitzpatrick, welcome. Thank you for the chat. And Darren, welcome to the Members Club. You know what, though? It's all right saying taking Matic off, but actually Matic is doing his job. He's holding the midfield. What is the obsession with Scott McTominay? Like, they've just shown him lose the ball twice on the TV. What is the obsession with Scott McTominay? Like, I don't know what it is. Like, even Rangnick said in midweek, Scotty's such a valuable player to. Why? Like, what is the value of Scott McTominay? And I'm not saying it from a position of agenda. I thought he was man of the match against Burnley, but he was man of the match against Burnley because he had 3 good shots. He didn't run the game in a passing sense, and he can't get to the edge of the box today. So what is it he do? What is the value of him over a Donny, over a Bruno, over a Matic, over a Fred? What is it you bring to the equation in a game like this? He's been run past. He's lost the ball loads. I don't understand why it is yet another manager is talking about this lad like he's important, and yet we're losing another midfield battle. He seems to be the consistent this season. Whether Fred gets dropped or Matic doesn't play or Donny never plays or Pogba gets put on the left wing, the consistent story of this season has been McTominay in the midfield. And the consistent story of this season has been losing midfield battles. I personally think we're getting to the point now where, like Rashford, like Bruno, like Maguire, McTominay needs a time out the game. He's the only lad who doesn't seem to ever get dropped. And I think it's time. We need to change that midfield up. And I don't think I'd take Matic off. I think I'd bring off Scott McTominay. Controversial or not. Can I just give a shout out to Manscaped? 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Trim your grass to make your yard look bigger. Yes, it's male grooming. Fantastic, high quality products. Also, they've got the nasal trimmer as well. Really, really good products. Couldn't do without it. And, always getting lots of compliments. Not from the public. They don't get to see what's going on. Drawty, can you hear me?
No, mate. No, I definitely can't hear you.
Can hear you. Right, he's just going to go through some of your super chats and tell you what changes he'd make at half-time. I'm just going to have a quick wee before the second half. But what I want to see is change. Get 3 in the midfield. Ronaldo on his own up front. Get hold of the ball. There's no point having a front 2 if you're not going to get the ball to them.
So, first super chat here is from Portuguese Power, who says, for the love of God, scrap this 4-2-2 and switch to 3-4-3 or 4-3-3. This is absolutely horrible to watch. Right now, it's not looking good. The football is not good. I will say Phil Jones has at least tried to pass forwards, and I think the defence has been pretty decent first half. Varane standout there for me. And David De Gea, as always, saving at the back. Right now, exactly what Goldbridge said. The midfield has nothing there, no creativity. Matic has never been known for being creative. He's a CDM. McTominay, very, very good against Burnley. But this game, it is just nothing there for the wide players or the forwards to work off of. And to be fair, Cavani's been pretty quiet as well. Greenwood living off scraps. Ronaldo not really come into the game much. And Sancho's been very, very quiet. So basically, at the moment, in this particular game, United have just got an effective defence with nothing in the midfield and the attack lacking potency. So, yes, he probably does need to make a few changes at half-time. Van der Beek, he's probably not going to use Van der Beek, but I would bring him on. And Bruno definitely as well. I just think those two need to come on and probably take McTominay off and Sancho because he's been pretty quiet, or Cavani, just to change it up a bit. What else have we got on the tweets? We've got some hashtag tweets here, which is Ask Goldbridge. Alex Jones says, whilst Goldbridge pours himself out a strong lager, probably. Hashtag Ask Goldbridge. Jones has done something Maguire can't do, defend a cross along the floor. I will say, and I said this in Goldbridge's ear, Jones, I think he's been decent today. He has been positive with his passing. I don't really think he's put a foot wrong. So for me right now, Jones has had a decent game.
I'm back. I was listening to that. I think, Phil Jones was spoken about a lot at the start of this game. And Michael says we need a midfield conductor like Neves, and he won't cost much either. I said this last night. I don't want to be as right as we are right. I don't think any of us want to be right. I don't think, I spent most of my life watching Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, and a lot of the conversations we've had over the last 8 years, you didn't need to have. You'd be talking about the positives because the manager was a great. Unfortunately, we spend too much time talking about things that we're right about, and unfortunately, the manager's wrong about. Rangnick deserves time, but he's got to buy a midfielder. If we don't buy a midfielder in January, we're not getting top 4. Underline it, put it on a headline, whatever. I don't think we're getting top 4. At this moment in time, and I said it before the Wolves game, we won't get top 4 because even if we manage to beat Wolves today, if we keep playing like this, the next game's Villa. Villa will be a better football side than us. Spurs and Arsenal are a better football side than us. Even West Ham are better than us. We don't deserve... You know what? Manchester United is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Sitting here right now, we don't deserve to get top 4. Like, we're not in a false position. We don't deserve to get top 4 just because we're Manchester United. We've played some of the worst footballs we've seen in a very long time over this season. We don't have a divine right to get top 4, and we don't deserve to get top 4. The better footballing team in that half was Wolves by a very long way. Norwich didn't deserve to beat us, didn't deserve to lose to us. Wolves didn't deserve to lose to us at the Molineux. Like, we do not deserve top 4 at the moment. And until we start deserving top 4, we won't get top 4. To deserve top 4, we've got to start getting hold of the midfield. I'm tired of saying it. We don't win the midfield. And again, we've not won the midfield. Now, we can still win this game. We can still win this game, and I hope we do. But we won't keep getting away with it like we have done today. Even if we find a way to win this, if he keeps picking that same team with those same players in the midfield, we will lose. A loss is coming. It might not be tonight. It might be next week. But a loss is coming. They've got to buy midfield. This is not change. This is a Band-Aid. You know, where's Bob? I keep expecting Bob Geldof to come out on the pitch. This is not reset from Ranić. This is a plaster over a wound. And let's hope that the blood doesn't seep out. But it could seep out in the second half. He's got to make changes at half time. And if you haven't watched Arsenal and you haven't watched Spurs yet, we ain't getting top four. Not like this. And Matic, to me, is past it. I know Ricky won't like it, but he's past it. McTominay's probably never been near it. And, you know, Donny never plays. Pogba's leaving in the summer. And Fred's inconsistent. That midfield is not going to get us top four. We've got to buy somebody. And doing it in January is going to be very difficult. Mark, could Conte have Fletcher on the bench? Ralph isn't the man, says Nihang. Can you imagine bringing in a proper CDM like Neves into our midfield or some player with that type of quality, says Portuguese Power? Put on Fred. He might be able to pass a ball, says Stephen. And Mark, so far I agree with you that Ranić shouldn't be made our permanent manager. What was the use of sacking Ollie and getting Ranić in if we're still playing the same football as under Ollie? To me, look, Steph, I said this after the Burnley game and people were like, what are you talking about? We're winning. I wasn't impressed with the Burnley performance. I wasn't. I was impressed with the result, but I wasn't impressed with the performance. I don't think we've been any worse than Burnley. I just think Wolves are a better team than Burnley. But I'd say again, why is Darren Fletcher on the bench? If this is a reset, why is Darren Fletcher still there? No subs at half-time. Same 11 sent out. A lack of dynamism. Why is he not making changes at half-time? Why are the same shit players coming out for the second half? If we play like we have the last few games against any other teams that can actually finish their chances, we'd get pummeled, says Iram. I don't understand why he's not made changes at half-time. I really don't. Like, that's disappointing because I watched Chelsea play Spurs at Spurs in September, October time. Now, considering Tuchel is a disciple of the Ranić style of football, Spurs played well in the first half. He made a substitution at half-time, Tuchel, and they changed it up and they dominated him in the second half. I don't understand why he's not made a change at half-time. I really don't. Maybe he's made a tactical change, but, you know. Please subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're on the road to 250,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're getting close to 247,000. Please click the button in the bottom right-hand corner. In the second half, we'll have player ratings coming out for you, which you can vote for. And then on the match reaction, when I do my match reaction, I'll give you my player ratings. And as I give mine, it will aggregate all yours and we'll see how we compare. We've also got the fan forum with Levin and the crew at about 8 o'clock for you. And as I said, big shout out to Manscaped who are sponsoring the show. Precision engineering for your family jewels. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic products. You can get 20% off exclusively through the United Stand and free worldwide shipping. Click the link in the description. Ronaldo is about to kick off, and he does. There we go. Second half starts. Let's see if we see a better Manchester United in the second half. No subs. As I said, look, I said it after Newcastle. I said it after Burnley. If you didn't know Ranić was in charge, you could be forgiven for thinking it's the same coach. But better play from United here already, to be fair. And then we give the ball away. Back to De Gea. Jones has done all right, capable fan. Thank you, Sharky. His chat's on there. Big shout out for the mods as well. And he says United are going to win. That's the positive. It's 0-0. We can still win this game. We've had a crap first half. How many teams, you know, it's the old cliche, isn't it? Football's a game of two halves. Lovely ball by Cavani into Sancho. He's got to make something of this. Oh. It's a shame. Better start from United, though. Thanks for watch-alongs you do. I don't have friends that are into football, so I don't have people to talk about it. Says it's Dodger. No worries, mate. Let's see if these players can respond in the second half. Players aren't good enough. It's as simple as that, says Chris. Mark, do you think Fletcher is choosing the team? Well, he better bloody not be. Nitro. Tell you what, though, Sancho's put a lot of work in today. You know, you might not have noticed it, but he's almost been a left back at times. Again, he's behind Luke Shaw, stopping a through ball. So the work rate of Sancho against Semedo, or however you pronounce it, has been very good. Now, look, if that's Rashford, he doesn't track back. Without Ronaldo, we finished second above Chelsea and Liverpool. Factually, even this season before we signed Ronaldo, we were better. I think you out yourself as having no football knowledge if you're putting this on Ronaldo. What is Ronaldo supposed to do? How is Ronaldo meant to make this change? Jones is better than Maguire, says Varane. Oh, Luke Shaw wins it back. Well, Trincao against Shaw's been interesting. He's a good player. No, look, Zesty says the team looks worse. Mate, you need to go and get yourself a book on football. How is a striker responsible for a deep line and a midfield that can't get hold of the game? Like, you put that Ronaldo in a Man City side, do you think Man City would be shit? You're having a laugh. That's the end of the conversation. That is the end of the conversation. If Ronaldo was playing for Man City, do you think Man City would suddenly start playing like this? Would they? Bollocks. Our problem is our midfield. Oh, he's got to be booked for that. You've got to book him for that. Even as a United fan, you've got to book McTominay for that. 100%. He's a prat. He's an absolute prat, and he has been booked. Misses the Villa game. I nearly cheered. Imagine if I'd done that. He's missing the Villa game. Every cloud. But he's a prat. I didn't even know that he was on. I didn't even know that was going to happen. Even more of a prat putting in a stupid foul like that. Coutinho with the cross. Headed away. Neves. I'll be going for a throw-in. I don't know when Pogba's back. Donny should be on. Glad he's missing. He is a prat, says Nitro. And did you notice Wan-Bissaka much higher up? Likes a 3-5-3. Looks like a 3-4-3, says Matteo. Swap Greenwood and Cavani and put Fernandes on for Cavani. Greenwood's comfortable taking the ball anywhere, Mark says. Mark, I'm Scottish and we don't rate Scott McTominay, says Jordan. We had a few more to be booked, so they miss games because it seems no matter who the manager is, we select the same bunch of prats, says Brad Lewis. Mark, honestly, if Barca can play Deco, Xavi and Iniesta in midfield, we should be playing Donny, Bruno and Pogba, says Co. The thing about this game is that even if we find a way to win it 1-0, it's just not entertaining, is it? Greenwood, that is not going to please people like Ronaldo and Cavani when he's cutting inside from 40 yards and shooting. You know, when I used to play for my school team when I was 15, our coach used to say to us, I don't mind it if you hit from 30 yards and you put it in the top corner. But when you've worked hard enough to get 30 yards away from your goal and you're shooting, you've done it for two reasons. One, you think you're good enough, or two, you've made a bad choice. How is Jimenez onside there? Well done, Phil Jones. I think United are fantastic as a team on paper. There is a lack of communication between the players, which prevents us from playing some flowing football. That was from Vabath. I tell you what, I don't think Jimenez is the player he was. I know he had a nasty head injury, but I think Varane just tries to play him onside and he's massively got it wrong. Get Bruno in for Scott. He played amazingly in the pivot. It's literally crying out to happen, says Alec. He's on a yellow card. He's had a bad game. Why is he on the pitch? Somebody said Scott is not suspended, but Sky put it on the TV. I didn't think he would be suspended either. Who would win, 99 United or 08 United, says Seismic. Remember McTominay probably is suspended because we did miss those 2 games against Brentford and Brighton. So you might be thinking about it's before a certain game week, but remember we missed 2 games. So maybe that's why he is suspended. We're getting worse, not better. This smells of one or two things. They are downing tools and going through the motions, or they are lost trying to adapt. Either way, McTominay should be sold, says Brad. Let's just get the goal and get out of Dodge. Yeah, he's suspended for the league game, not the FA Cup game. David De Gea just comes across and boots it out. It's not been good from United. It really has become, as I said it against Newcastle. If you didn't know Ollie'd been sacked, you could be forgiven for thinking he's still there. But that doesn't make me be Ranić out, because that would be stupid in my opinion. But it doesn't make me be Ranić out. It makes me realise how bad our players are. That lovely take from Greenwood. Come on, let's make something out of this. What is that by Greenwood? It's awful. It's neither to Wan-Bissaka or Ronaldo. It just kills the flow. Good play by Wan-Bissaka though. Come on. Wins a corner. That's just lazy. It's not a corner, it's a goal kick. That Greenwood there. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant run. And then the pass is just lazy. And this is what I mean about United. We don't take care of the ball. We're very lazy with our passes. We were seeing this from Rashford and Bruno before they got dropped. The pass has either not got enough power or it's the wrong angle. We don't take care of the ball. There's a lack of concentration. And this is where I think Ranić's problem is. I think Ranić's a good coach. I just don't think the players are good enough to play the way he wants to play. So he has to play this. Rash says, I don't think McTominay's having a bad game. The team is bad. He can't wave a magic wand and dominate the game. The press starts from the front. I don't know what you're on about there, mate. I think this is getting worse. We can't even do the basics of children's football, says David Miller. We are lazy, uninterested, overpaid and overhyped. Mark, having seen all the top 6 teams play this week, do you think we are the worst? Seems like our style is way off and boring. As I said at half-time, Amit, until we see something different, we don't deserve top 6, let alone top 4. The fact Greenwood never passes means our forwards are going to slowly lose trust, says MWK. I'd rather wait for Phil to have a bad performance than have Harry start when we definitely know he won't perform. Start the GOAT, says Jar Bar Drinks. Well, how could you drop Phil Jones off this performance? Russell says, don't you think Ralph is playing like this as he can't adapt pressing with a team that's never done it purely for energy during a busy fixture list, says Russell. Too many sideways passing here. Nothing going on. Lost the ball. Oh, Trincao does well, but Jimenez is away. Phil Jones doesn't make the tackle. He's gone back for the foul. I think he's going to book Luke Shaw as well. And he's booked Luke Shaw. Trincao, Megs. Ralph has no hope of getting United to play the way he wants. They look unfit. Some of them don't look good enough. And Luke Shaw misses the game against Villa as well. Bruno coming on, should have started the bloody game in the first place. Everyone is saying, oh, it's good to drop him. I wouldn't have minded if Donny'd started, but the issue I had with Bruno not playing was a tactical one. Good play by Greenwood. It's going to be a yellow card there. Greenwood got caught. Bruno's coming on. Yeah, I wanted Bruno to start, but not because I like Bruno. Donny could have started for me. Wanted to see a midfield three with a number 10 in it because we've just gifted up too much of the midfield. Oh my God. Trincao, let it go. Semadou. Corner. What can our players do? Can't pass properly, can't press properly, can't control the ball properly, says DK. They're just not good enough, mate. Happy New Year, Mark. Why do you think we're playing exactly the opposite of what Ralph is saying? No pressing, square passes, back passes, no control. Kane, it's because they're not good enough, mate. They're just technically not good enough. We've assembled a squad of overpaid, under-talented players. They're just not good enough. And we're very lucky to be playing a Wolves side that just can't score goals. If this was Spurs, they'd win because they've got Harry Kane. Oh, it's just over Ronaldo. We'll just wait. You know what? We can win this game. We can be sat here at full time celebrating a massive 3 points. It's quite simply because Wolves can't score goals. That's my only hope in this game. Performance-wise, we don't deserve it, but we can win this game because Wolves can't score, and we've not created a big chance yet. We haven't. I'm just waiting for that one big chance for United, and then we score it and we win. Honestly, embarrassing and disturbing, says David. Cristiano need Kroos, Modric, Casemiro. He's taking Greenwood off. Greenwood off for Bruno. I disagree with that. I think Greenwood's been our most lively player. Crowd are booing, apparently. Yeah. Well, there's still half an hour to go in this game. A long way to go. I mean, hopefully Bruno can make the difference. But where's Bruno going to play? Is he just going to go right wing? I don't understand why Greenwood came off. I mean, he had just taken a knock, but I think the decision to take him off was before he'd been fouled anyway. So, I mean, Bruno on the right wing's not going to work, is it? Although he does have a good cross on him. Dear me. Deary me. Please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Well, I agree with that comment there. Matic and McTominay are clearly the problem, says Marrow, and yet they're still on the pitch. But it does feel like Wolves could play till next Christmas and not score. So whilst that's the case, we just hope that we get this this chance that we haven't even had. Brandon, I won't be doing a darts watch along now. Is it any good? A lot of people talking about Donny in the chat. I think if he's going to bring a midfielder on, it'll be Fred, I'm afraid. The fact that he's going to play another game of 90 minutes with Matic and McTominay is... I tell you what, Ronaldo... Was it Ronaldo? It wasn't. It was Bruno. He nearly nipped in. Nearly. I do think with Bruno on, though, we've got more chance of making something happen. But De Gea's out to clear it. Still a long way to go in this game, though. We just got to create that chance. Right, McTominay, come on. Space. Bruno. Why didn't you put the cross in, Bruno? Put the cross in now, Bruno. Wan-Bissaka. Nah. His crossing's just not good enough, Wan-Bissaka, is it? Ralph is starting to make some mistakes, says Ollie. We cannot ignore that, says Liam Knight. Free Donny, says Ray. Yeah, I'm very surprised that Greenwood's been taken off. We were just showing some stats on the screen there, and he's looked our most dangerous player. Thoughts on crowd booing that substitution, says Salah Ahmed. I've got no problem with the crowd booing the substitution because it's, I'm not a booer myself when I do go to matches, but it's they're at the match, they're watching the same game we're seeing, and Mason Greenwood actually second half, I think, has been one of the few highlights when we've been attacking. So I wouldn't have took him off, but Sancho's done a lot of defensive good work, good play by Luke Shaw there. I'm telling you what, I don't know whether we get a corner, but he does enough on Jimenez. It's a good cross from Wolves, and Jimenez goes for it, and it is a corner. I think they've given a goal kick, but it is a corner. Luke Shaw does a great job to get there. What happened to Rangnick saying it's not so much about applying a system, but suiting a system to the players you've got? Now we're shoehorning in players and playing without a 10 when we have Bruno and Van der Beek, says Noah. Oh, no, they have given the corner. It was very good from Luke Shaw. Donny's coming on, apparently. Good. Mark, do you think Ralph is coaching in his style of play and just waiting for them to get it before we use it, says Joe? I don't know. Lovely play by Podence. Good cross. And he's given a goal kick there. Alanga and Martial would suit this game perfectly, says Brian Gallagher. I think for any attacker to suit this game perfectly, you've got to get a midfield that can create chances. Now, Adama Traore is coming on now. Now, he's like a bull in a china shop. He will get the ball and run. Rangnick is like Ollie with tactical talks, as Akil. So Trincao comes off. Very clever substitution this by Wolves. Luke Shaw's on a yellow card, and Adama Traore is a bloody nightmare to deal with. So Adama up against Luke Shaw on a yellow card. Greenwood's one of our best players, and he's taken off, says Mick. Yeah, I think that's why people were booing about it. But somebody said Donny was coming on. I don't know whether he is coming on at the moment. I'm trusting the chat. Who, Donny? Well, apparently there's pictures of Donny looking depressed on social media. I don't know whether that means he's coming on or not, but well, the ball's gone out of play. I don't think United are bringing anyone on. Happy New Year, Mark, and God bless, says Rory. Happy New Year to you as well. Get Rashford on. It's made for him, says Robert McCormack. Yeah, you know what, Robert? You'll get a lot of stick for that, but I know what you. Well, I think I know what you mean. That long ball and pace might just be simplistic approach that does something. I mean, Donny is warming up, but I don't know whether he's certainly not took his tracksuit off yet. I just saw him running behind Sancho. Goal! Oh, he's at the Denver. Bruno's at the Denver. Oh, I thought that was a goal. Matic with a great cutback, and we've just smacked the bar. Oh, bloody hell. I mean, I'm not saying that we deserve it or not, but foul here by Moutinho and Phil Jones. And Bruno nearly. I mean, should he have scored? You've got to say when you get a chance in the box, but yeah, he should score. But to be honest with you, he's so bloody close to scoring. He's almost hit it too well because the keeper's probably saving it if he puts it a little bit lower than that. Big chance. That was the chance we needed to score. Do you think Ralph can fix this team? I think he might even be worse than Ollie, says Justin Brown. Anyway, free kick to United. First chance to really whip across in. We've not had any corners, have we? Ronaldo! Yes! Ooh! He scores a goal. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. Captain, no, it's offside. Bloody offside. Passion killer. It's like turning the lights on. He is miles off, Ronaldo. Oh, he just doesn't get back on side. Bloody hell. Well, 2 good chances for United there. One was offside. Bruno should have scored. So, look, Bruno's come on and things have happened. It would have been an assist for Bruno, that would as well. See, things are starting to happen with Bruno now. Here's Ronaldo. Don't shoot, mate. Oh, he did. Just wide. Better 5 minutes since Bruno's come on. Different side with Bruno in the team. Whether you like him or not, Bruno makes things happen. Simple as that. Bruno's the catalyst, says Paul. Momentum is increased. We actually do look like we might win this game now. Even McTominay's not giving the ball away anymore. McTominay just running around doing nothing, no press, no pass, nothing. He can't even track his player. Sad he's a starter. Well, he won't play against Villa in the league. So maybe if we play well against Villa, we can drop him for good. Oh, you know what then? I nearly got the biggest sit down of my life. McTominay went on a run like bloody Lionel Messi. He nearly scored. I mean, he doesn't really take anybody on. He just opens up for him. But I tell you what, I'd have happily sat down then. He nearly had a chance to score. Like Ricky and think he speaks a lot of sense, but hopefully he can now see Bruno is not the problem. All no Bruno means is no threat going forward, says Andrew O'Brien. Player ratings will be coming out very soon, by the way. I'll pop the link in the chat when it is. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Are Wolves starting to fade a little bit here? This is our first corner of the game. I think Bruno's been our best attacking player, and he's only been on 5 minutes. Cross comes in, headed away. Here's Luke Shaw. Interesting ball, Luke Shaw. Keeper gets it. We need to play off more instinct. Bruno's making a difference, says Ricky D. Just watch out for Wolves on the break, though, because they have got the pace. I do worry about them on the break. Here's Adama. I don't know what he's trying to do there. He's giving us a goal kick. 20 minutes to go. Come on, let's make a sub now. Ranić's going to have a sit down. Who's that Aldi Tim Howard? Is that guy we got in from Leipzig? Not Leipzig, Red Bull. I forgot what is it? Is it Bruce Arena? Not Bruce Arena. I can't remember what his bloody name is now. I should know all this. Uneducated Bridge. It's Bruce, isn't it? Chris Armas, that's his name. That's it. Chris Armas. Well, it's better than bloody Scooby-Doo shouting in his ear. The original Scooby-Doo. Darren Fletcher. You're all a bunch of prats anyway. Bruno. I mean, Donny ain't coming on. He's just gone to keep warm. Matic. But it's better. United are actually getting quite a bit of the ball here. If we get the goal, we'll win the game. Like Wolves won't. I don't think Wolves are going to score in this game. I'm not jinxing it. They just can't score goals. And if this ends 0-0, we could have all had the night off. Sancho been very, very quiet this half. Gives the ball away. Now we're in trouble. Adama Traore, he's got the pace. Matic, you're going to get booked, mate. He's going to get booked. Stupid. Just stupid. Stupid. Midfield's been shit. Really shit. 15 minutes to go. Player ratings, I think, is out on the website, unitedstand.com. If you want to do them, I will drop the link in the video description for you as well. But let's see what happens with this free kick. Rashford might be coming on, apparently. Donny been throwing gum again, says Jenks. It was a tactical foul by Matt. No, he didn't need to make a tactical foul because Varane was there. He doesn't need to make that tackle in that position. It's a decent free kick. I've seen Wolves score a free kick here before. He's at the bar. He's at the bar with the free kick. Good. Bloody good. Says. No, De Gea, I think De Gea had it covered anyway. But he's at the Denver. We've hit the Denver. They've hit the Denver. The Denver Bar. The Denver Bar there. Links in the video description for the player ratings. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being your average. Rashford is on for Sancho. What does Donny have to do? Get on this to get on. I just don't understand it. I really don't. But look, we've been saying that for so long. I sort of do understand it because the default is he just won't get on. Good throw out by David De Gea. So Rashford is playing on the left. Oh, I don't know. You know what I find annoying about it is that, look, some people agreed with Bruno getting dropped. He's going to walk straight back into this team now because they're shit. A lot of people agreed with Rashford being dropped, and he's back in the team. Like Rashford got dropped because he wasn't playing well. Maybe give Lingard a go. Why does it have to be Rashford or Rashford the same? If you're dropping Bruno, why not give Donny a go? It just seems to me he's not really, you know what I mean? He's not really dropping players, is he? It's like, I'm dropping you, but you will be the first one to come on. Where's Alanga? Where's Lingard? Why can't they come on? They've not even been given a chance. it's the same old players given this, you know, well, they're dropped, but then they're straight back in. That's not dropping somebody. It's not dropping somebody for them to be then the default substitution every single time. Why could Lingard not come on? Alanga's on the bench, I think, as well. Why can't they come on? Why does Rashford get another chance in the team when others don't get a chance? It's the same old story. It's not. As I said, it's not a reset. Good play by Luke Shaw again there, getting ahead of Jimenez. Conte was the manager to get the club, made the wrong choice. It will set this club back another 5 years, says Alligator. Why isn't Ahmed being played? Well, he's not on the bench, Farron. I think he's gone to the AFCON, is the short answer there. A serious question. If we went player by player, how many United players would be considered not wildly overpaid? Says Brad Lewis. Jones is a better player than our expensive John O'Shea Maguire. The game has changed since Bruno has come on, says Stephen Atkinson. I hope Rashford does score the bloody winner. I still wouldn't pick him in the next game because I just don't think he suits the way we want to play football. But as an impact sub, look, if it works, it works. I think this is going to be a 0-0. Too easy to get past Scott McTominay there, Podence. Oh, Rashford's been done. He's done well to work back though there. Well done. He's got, tell you what, Rashford's got to put a shift in because Semedo will attack. And that's one thing that Sancho did do quite well. He did put a shift in. David De Gea's there. 10 minutes to go, or 12 minutes to go. Player ratings, links in the video description, or you can go to theunitedstand.com. We'll be going through that on the match reaction. Phil Jones to score in the dying minutes. Oh, Charlie. That would be fantastic. Corner. Phil Jones. Bang. Here's Ronaldo. McTominay. Oh, he didn't catch it right that time. That's the ball, Bruno. Go on. Ronaldo with the cross. Punched away by the keeper. Let's not forget, Ollie went on that jammy away run as well, grinding out results, mostly draws. Ralph isn't doing anything we haven't seen before, says Kay. Oh, Rashford. He's overplayed it again. Fucking Shaw was on the overlap. The cross was on, and he fucks about with it again. When's he going to learn? You've been dropped for 2 games, mate. Play the bloody simple ball. When is he going to learn? Bloody hell. Luke Shaw's overlapped. If he gives the ball to Luke Shaw, he's got a simple cross in the box. Look at fucking Fletcher there again as well. Piss him off. Get rid of him. Bloody Fletcher in the bloody tunnel. I tell you what, bring Ollie back. I'd rather have Ollie talking to Ranić than fucking Fletcher. Bloody hell. Scooby-Doo. What are people talking about a penalty for? It's never a bloody penalty. Jimenez is coming off. That might be a bad thing for us because he wouldn't score in a brothel. I'm really, the reason I got angry with Rashford there is because he's been dropped for 2 games. And in his first attack, you'd think over the last 2 games, he might have analysed why he's not getting picked because he's been greedy and wasteful. What does he do? Greedy and wasteful. If players aren't going to learn, well done, Phil Jones. Oh, no. Martinho. Fuck off! Piss off! No! No! tossers! Fucking tossers! Bloody tossers! And I hate to say it, Phil Jones's header is shit. But where's the midfield? You can't do that, Phil. He's had a good game, but you can't head it to a Wolves player on the edge of the box. Phil Jones gets the assist, but and you know, what a surprise. What a surprise a midfielder wins it. What a surprise. Hey, what's lost is this game? Matic and McTominay. I said it before the game. Midfield battle lost again. It's poetic justice that Moutinho, a midfielder for Wolves, wins the fucking game because McTominay and Matic are shit. Shit. They're absolutely shit. And I tell you what, you should be ashamed of yourself if you were one of the prats after Burnley going, ooh, sit down, McSauce, McSauce. I wouldn't put McSauce on a shit. One good game against Burnley and you fell for it, you prats. Fred was man of the match against Palace. Consistently crap. And now he's bringing Elanga on. No, Donny. Not changing the midfield. No, we're not going to change the midfield. Let's bring another bloody striker on. Bloody hell. I think everyone was focused on the wrong fullback before the game. Luke Shaw shouldn't be starting ahead of Telles anymore. Well, he's suspended for the Villa game anyway. But you can blame Luke Shaw. You can blame Phil Jones for a crap header. But the reality is, it's a midfielder who scores, and it's a midfield battle that's been lost. A game isn't lost on one goal. A game is lost on 90 minutes. And for 90 minutes, all right, do well.
Yeah.
You score.
No, I did score a goal, but I did do a good save.
Well, I don't want you to be a goalie.
No, but I did.
No one respects goalkeepers.
No, but I did do a good goal save.
We'll be having a chat later. I've told you about going in goal. I want you scoring goals.
Everyone had to take a turn.
Well done.
Okay.
Manchester United are losing.
Why is it losing?
Because they're rubbish. You need to come and play for them. So can you play midfield and tell them what to do? Yeah. All right. I needed that. Bit of reality from this crap. We don't deserve top four. Wolves deserve the win. This is on the players, but the manager's made big mistakes tonight. FA can allow 5 subs and he still won't get rid of McTominay for Donny. It's just Rathmith there. Smrath Fitness. United players are not crap. They went to the wrong club. Every good players that you signed post Sir Alex Ferguson wasted, says Tinsey. All the team selections and substitutions isn't Ranić decisions, says Econ. And how the fuck is Rashford coming on the pitch as well? I mean, that symbolises it for me. That symbolises the fact that we're not making any progress under a new manager. This to me is like this is the same as what we've seen for 3 months. It's the same style of football. It's the same players. I mean, literally 2 minutes before they scored, he brings Rashford on, who has an overlap for Luke Shaw, and decides to do a pirouette and lose the bloody ball. Like, he shouldn't be on the pitch, Rashford. He should not be on the pitch. He's learned sod all by being dropped. He shouldn't be on the pitch. And I like Rashford. Phil Jones cleared it out of his box. That was his job. The next part falls to the player around him. But my God, this game hurts. Now, Daniel, I don't really want to hear Phil Jones criticised because I think he's done well considering he hasn't played in a long time. But that headed clearance, if you're being harsh, is not headed to the right area. Head it out for a corner. Head it back the way it came, but don't head it into the middle of the pitch on the edge of the box. It's not. And Phil will know himself. He's not headed that away to a good area. But where's the midfield? Too many people are still being picked on. As I said, what's Darren Fletcher doing at that fucking football club? It feels to me like he's a bloody... It didn't really go bad under Ollie. We'd like to keep a bit of the Ollie thing and a bit of the new. Fuck off. Get out. Get rid of this bullshit. This is not a reset. This is not what we thought it was going to be. This is just a little bit of an improvement on what the previous shit was. We're still... is he still on the phone to Ollie? I mean, what the fuck's going on? Overpaid, not surprised. The fruit of year-long shit business by the board. How many circles we want to go through, says DK. Where the hell is Van der Beek? Why is every manager ignoring him? What did they do that fans don't? He deserves a chance. I forgot about Van der Beek, yeah. Mark, you said Ronaldo won't be here, but because we won't make top four, will managers also be reluctant to come? Well, I think Ronaldo's going to go. Why would he be happy here? He won't be happy with Europa League, but why would he be happy playing this shit football as well? You're so concerned about Spurs and Arsenal, you need to worry about yourselves, and the mess your club's in the midfield is the worst to wear the badge, says Ben Hall. And not even Conte would have had any success with this group of prima donnas. Wow, this game's gone. We needed to win. I better not see Ranić dumbing the loss down to not clearing the ball properly. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But you know what? I'm not surprised. I said Wolves would be a difficult game. You know, this ain't Burnley or Norwich or Newcastle now where you can you can nick a win when you don't deserve it. This is a well-coached team with these decent players. And as I said at half-time, if this was Liverpool, I think we'd be getting beat like we did under Ollie. We ain't getting top four. We're not getting top four. Forget it. Ronaldo's gone in the summer. Five minutes added on. I mean, they could add on 25 minutes. Man of the match for me is probably David De Gea because he made two fantastic saves in the first half that really... I know it's boring giving it to David De Gea, but... he would be my man of the match, I'm afraid. Well, I can believe this, but Traore just skips past Scott McTominay like he's a bloody umbrella. Fucking useless. I mean, I'm bored of being right. I'm sure you feel the same. I'm bored of saying our midfield shit, and I'm bored of us doing nothing about it. I said last night, if we don't buy a midfielder, we won't get top four. Who's trying to blame this on Ollie? I don't think anyone's tried to blame it on Ollie. Not heard anyone blaming it on Ollie. I hope we sell Donny so he can run as fast as he can from this steaming dog turd we have here. Brad Lewis. Will this be the first match Ronaldo ever loses whilst being captain, says Mr. Nobody. Yes. Rangnick's not the man, lacks guts to make big decisions, tactically makes no sense. Players clearly don't respect him. Accelerate hiring new manager, says Andrew O'Brien. On this, Rangnick's not the right man, is he? I mean, I've got to be honest. I was going to say it in my match reaction, but how can a man who is picking the wrong players and ignoring the same old players that you've got to question a club that changes their manager mid-season for a manager that is completely different to the one you've just sacked, who then picks the same bloody players and doesn't rotate? I mean, why is Jesse Lingard not getting on the pitch? Donny van der Beek's played 6 minutes. 6 minutes in 450 Premier League minutes. And we're playing shit. You know, I don't think Lingard's got a future at the club, but why is he not getting any minutes ahead of a Rashford? Why is Donny not getting any minutes ahead of a... How have McTominay and Matic played 90 minutes? You know, it's crazy. It's crazy that we've not changed that midfield, even though it was obvious in the first 10 minutes that we were losing the game. Why were Rashford and Elanga bought on? This is Ollie Ball, despite the change in manager. We lost because Moutinho and Neves is better than Matic and McTominay. Absolutely spot on, Michael. Ubermelon says, did you see Kante and Kovacic run the game against Liverpool's 3 midfielders? Yes, I did. And doesn't matter if we got Zidane, Conte or Rangnick, still don't have good enough players or board. It's like putting perfume on a turd. Arax, you know what, though? The players are crap. The players are absolutely crap. But I think when you've got an agenda, you close your mind off to your favourites and just go after things you don't like. And it's very easy to say, oh, Matic and McTominay are shit and Rashford's shit at the moment and this, that and the other. We've got a manager on the bench who has decided to ignore Fred, ignore Donny van der Beek, ignore Lingard and stick with Matic and McTominay for 90 minutes, even though in the first 5 minutes it was obvious they were having a bad game. Like, obvious. And he stuck with them. Why are we sticking with them? What's the influence of Darren Fletcher? Why are we doing this? None of the top 10 teams are conceding to this Wolves team. I'm sorry, United are in trouble, says Some Shock. If we lose this game, well, we're not going to win it. We're not in a top 4 race. We're not. We're not in a top 4 race. 30 seconds to go. Varane whips it in. Phil Jones goes with his head. He's given the free kick. It's a high foot. He's given the free kick. Bruno might get us a draw here. This has got to be Bruno on the free kick. He's the only one this close. It is a free kick as well. Brave by Phil Jones. This is not a Ronaldo free kick. It's too close. It's got to be Bruno. Donny was man of the match last time against Wolves, John. Player ratings, links in the video description. Please subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We'll be having a match reaction after this. Win, lose or draw, I've got a lot of things to say about Ralf Rangnick. I think he's fucking bottled it tonight. I really do. And I think, you know, protection season's over. I do back him. I think he's a good manager, but I don't think he's managing this team at all. I think Darren Fletcher's doing it because I don't get what he's doing. This isn't Rangnick. This isn't Evolution. This is Favourites FC again. Right, Bruno's got to score this. Ronaldo, please don't hit this. It's not your range. Jones needs to start over Maguire. Bruno's got to hit this. It's got to be Bruno. Oh, he does. Keeper makes the save. Cavani. And they had it out. And that's it. Man United lose 1-0. You shower of shit bastards. Shit off. Fucking useless. Absolutely bloody useless. And look, forget about Donny van der Beek. What about Fred? You're telling me Fred couldn't do a better job than McTominay and Matic tonight? It's not just this Donny obsession people have. Why not bring Fred on? You know, why not mix up the midfield? What is he doing? And he's got to be held accountable. Ronaldo goes off, not very happy. What's going on at that football club? Why is the manager still picking the same shit that we were doing under the previous manager? What's going on at Manchester United? Rangnick needs calling out because that's bullshit tonight. That is bullshit. We've just been beaten at home by Wolves and they deserve to win the game from the first minute. Crap performance and a weird obsession with 2 bloody bags of cement in the midfield. Rubbish. Disgusting performance. Let's go to the match reaction and carry it on. Player ratings, links in the video description. I tell you what, I'm going to unload and I'm going to give a few home truths about Rangnick as well, because that's bullshit. That's not a reset. He's been brought in as another yes man. He's got hooks on his fucking elbows. Nonsense football from United. I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute.